Yeah, because it's 1:15 and Blitz is on his way.
Oh, perfect.
Yep, so we'll get started, and when he pops in, he'll pop in. And the time is started, yes. All right, so need to put down the new player characters.
Why are we in the burnt town?
Just to, like, this is how you, like, meet the new guys. They're in the town already.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so basically, Martin, Travis, and Ray. You've been in Gliwice for probably like a couple weeks now at this point. And yeah, you see this motley crew of Americans and NATO personnel pull into town. What's your reaction?
Relief.
Yes, it's like, holy shit. They're not trying to kill us immediately. Oh my god.
We'd been in cover for so long that I was afraid that our growling stomachs were going to give us away.
Guys, we just have to keep going west. There has to be a boat back to America, right? Eventually we reach the Atlantic, we're back to America. I don't care. I want to get back to Texas. Fuck it.
Well, the biggest patch of water near here is this little stream to the southeast. There ain't no ocean here.
Yeah, no, we gotta keep going west or something.
My home is west, but not as far as Texas.
Damn.
It's Europe, Texas.
I did not know we had a Texas in Europe.
Well, let me just tell you, Europe would be a lot better if there was a Texas.
I'm going to surrender to the Russians now.
You never seen the documentary Red Dawn?
It wasn't originally a documentary, but...
No, it's a documentary.
Is it the accent, Emily? Is it the accent?
I love it, man. I love this conversation.
Question.
Just by the way, just so you know, that is a Dutch accent, but just very exaggerated.
No kidding.
Yes.
I love it.
I was going to ask, would the group, Gorham and anybody else nearby hear this discussion about Texas?
Are you being quiet about this discussion?
Doesn't sound like it.
I know. I just want to double check.
I'm assuming this is like in the opening of like 3 people just walking down a road and just talking loudly as they're just moving. Because there's just civilians all around and such.
That's even better. I like that. Yeah, you hear this conversation.
So,
the very loud, I imagine, Texan accent that it kind of reminds you of the Reynolds brothers, but not nearly as
no, the Reynolds,
like spine
well, actually,
chilling.
yeah, the Reynolds brothers are from Texas. Oh, God.
And with Bill Paxton.
Well,
the only thing I find hilarious is that the Texan accent is actually described as loud. I didn't know there was any other kind.
Yeah. Guess what? At least I don't put mayonnaise on my fries.
well,
culturally aware are we?
So, Gorm hears this and Mosey's on over. It's like, oh, Texas, says you. I mean, I'm not from Texas, but I'm from Arizona. That makes us neighbors.
Yeah, except you're a complete different biome and you're a desert.
Jesus Christ, man.
And you're also nearby Mormons, which is worse.
I can't prove or disprove that.
That doesn't happen. Cody lost for words. Wow.
Yeah.
Not to say.
From this place called Waco. Yes, exactly that Waco. So we're just trying to head west over to get back home. How about you?
Well, I mean, long term, yeah, but the way I see it, my friends and I have been trying to, um, simmer the situation, simmer the tempers here in Poland, and that'll make it easier for everybody to go home. And so far, and she does points like, so far it has worked.
You just
As I stare around at this like bombed out village, yes, it's working well. I can tell.
Yeah.
Hey, that happened before I showed up. You can't blame me for that.
Yeah, sure. The war's gonna be over when we finally run out of all the ammunition we stockpiled.
And well, Gorm's
Or
like
we just have everyone else killed.
sort of unslings the her shotgun, which she has like one of those bandoliers, or like one of those slings that has shotgun shells on. It's like, well, I mean, not unless you're carrying this in response to the ammunition thing. It's like, hey, yep, reminds me of my first shotgun. I was the happiest 4-year-old in the Grand Canyon State.
Can you make more shells, or is that it?
Oh, found some.
They give them out like candy around here.
Well, it's like, think about it. I mean, it's like there's so many hunters that use shotgun shells, and it's the same kind of shells you was used in military shotguns. So, I mean, it's not like I'm
I would
dependent
imagine,
on NATO rounds
Like
or
a
something.
shotgun shell is probably pretty easy to manufacture, right? You just gotta
That too.
put
Yeah.
gunpowder and like metal balls.
Yeah,
or
but we're
pellets.
dealing with a broken war place where it's just like, do they really have the means to do it in an industrial scale anymore?
And Gorham's like, well, hey, we built several javelin missiles for these fine people. You just gotta believe, man.
You mean to tell me you cooked up missiles in your basement?
Yep. Quite literally too. Well, not the cooking part, but the
Okay,
basement
just
part.
point out the ones that have the javelin so we can be away when they fire it.
Well, she says, kind of like shrugging her shoulders. The javelin bounces. Like, well, I have a javelin. I mean, mine was the OG javelin, the Saint javelin, that was used as the mother of future javelins. That she looks around, sees the two guys those two guys are carrying.
Hey, Blitz, by the way. I saw you popped in. He's muted, though.
I'm gonna be like kind of impressed by that, and I'm gonna say, wait, you're telling me you home manufactured a vertical attack standoff missile in a war zone?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, not in the middle of the war zone, but we have our little basement workshop and had some downtime. Nobody was trying to kill me. Nobody was trying to kill us, so some javelins.
What kind of other stuff have you built?
Cow pens.
That's far less interesting.
An industrial-sized
It's a
generator.
couple of sticks and chicken wire.
Well, I can assist if we need to make any electronic systems or computers or anything like that.
And she's like, "Oh, that sounds great." And then just sort of like a forceful, like like lunge forward, grab your hand, firm handshake. And it's like, I'm Hillary Gorham, Sergeant Hillary Gorham.
I'm, I guess, Staff Sergeant Ray Morrill.
So she's like, awesome. Hold on, is Staff Sergeant above Sergeant? She's actually asking
Yes.
that. It's like, well, I mean, either way, I mean, what's rank but a word,
I
right?
outrank you. Yes, it's very important.
Well, she says like,
Very important.
well, she outright says like, what is rank but a word? So referring to the fact that, I mean, the group like long ago stopped acting based on rank, especially because like just as a meta thing, like Gorham is more or less a de facto face, especially due to her approach. So, which is ironic because we did have an actual face who was a captain, but he lived up to his name, let's just say, and he's no longer with the group. I mean, his character is as an NPC, but he's a captain who does diddly squat, whereas Gorham is just a sergeant, and also Age Wide is practically the baby of the bunch, and she's the one who takes charge.
Well, war is hell. It's just you got to do what works.
Yeah,
You
well,
can call me Sparks. That's my nickname.
alrighty, Sparks. That's a good name. Sounds almost like a band, actually. Come to think of it, is it?
Sparks?
Yeah, I
Are you
thought it-
asking in character?
yeah, she's asking in character.
I have no idea.
Well, she says, I mean, it reminds me of the time is like, back before I enlisted, people kept putting flyers on my car. I kept getting invited to see some band called Parking Violation at a place called the Courthouse. So I'm not really that savvy with bands.
No.
Martin kind of snickered.
I don't know that was a band.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, people keep putting those flyers on my car. It's like, I don't know who Parking Violation is. Please stop putting it on my car.
Right. Well, I can also drive.
Yeah, well,
I'm also good at driving.
yeah, so am I.
Mhm.
And which she actually is. She, especially in the first session. But yeah, the driver of the Humvee,
Orb
so
committed vehicular homicide on several
twice.
Russians. Yes.
I mean, she kind of grew out of that habit. It's more early installment weirdness than anything else, but she isn't really that violent of a person unless it helps to shock and awe the enemy and kind of butter them up for a peace talk. Just for context, but she is actually very good at. She has, I think, like AB driving or something like that. Let's see, yeah, AB driving. So.
But CD parking, apparently.
But you still have it at disadvantage for stick shift.
I don't know.
Try driving uphill, park your car at stick shift, and try to get that going without, getting it stalled.
Or was like snaps her fingers, points to you. Challenge accepted. What was your name, neighbor?
Austin, after the city, yes. Now let's get going. I don't know. Guess we're getting conscripted again, aren't we, Willems?
Yeah, looks like we are, but in a larger group. That means we'll be at least a little bit safer.
Yeah. Does that mean you guys have food?
Mm-hmm. We
Right
also
at
have
the
lots and lots of vodka.
right at that moment, Martin's stomach growls really badly. Like, yeah, I need to eat something.
Gorham reaches into one of the like pockets of her vest, pulls out like an emergency ration. It's like, here you go.
Martin takes it and says, "Thank you. Got any mayonnaise?"
No, not that I know of.
We're gonna have to find a farm and find chickens.
Oh,
and
we
get
have
the-
chickens, plenty of chickens. Don't you worry about that,
Okay, so
neighbor.
we got the egg part down for the mayonnaise.
Apparently, your captain was one.
Wait, what about the captain?
You said we have plenty of chickens, and I go, apparently your captain was one.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Martin's dark humor rears its head again.
well, I mean, sense of humor, then you're going to vibe very well with Gorham, because
I love it. Okay.
Well, actually,
So,
real quick,
ahead.
you know, Gorham actually does, yeah, based on the document, is like, so she's like, you fancy yourself a funny man?
More, more like realistic, Gorm.
She says like, well, I was just going to ask you, if you know, if you know, what is it when you're attracted to both men and women, but they aren't attracted to you?
Blind.
By yourself.
Yep. That'll do it.
So she's starts you know, like she's like finger guns at you and is like backing up and just with her arms like, come on guys, let's I'll get you filled in on the plan. And she just kind of
Martin,
struts
Martin
off
looks
to.
at, Martin looks at him and goes, looks at Austin and goes, plan? Oh dear.
Yeah, we got conscripted again. I guess they're gonna make us grab a grenade and tell us to pull the pin at the Russian lines to die
Well,
for the great cause.
Good.
Emily, what's going on
Because
with your
fuck the Russians.
what's going on with your mic? It sounded almost like a McDonald's drive-through.
I'm I have like two fans like blowing because apparently spring in Indiana is like 70 degrees. 70 degrees is the daily high recently, so
Oh,
like trying to cool down.
oh,
And hopefully you can still hear me okay because I swapped to a different headset.
Well, we can hear you better than before, so.
yeah.
Yep.
So, and I guess yeah, I guess in character in terms of the plan, you know, what I guess Gorham with the input of Parston, you know, goes over is that the whole idea of, you know, so the 11th, I don't know, out of character, I don't know if you guys were told the full story, but basically the 11th Soviet Tank Division is closing in on this town, and Parston like put out a distress call for us to help him, and that's why we brought the javelins over as well as brought ourselves over, um, and yeah, but basically they're going to be attacking within like, you know, like a few days at most, and we were setting up like a battle plan to get fortified and deal with the division. And Gorham also just mentioned as a side note that we recently, like our group on our way to meeting with Parson, learned about the there's actually a POW camp, and Gorham says I actually plan to go there either alone or with my friend Vinny, see if we can barter a prisoner exchange. She just mentions that very casually, matter of factly.
You have prisoners to exchange?
Well, no, but we were going to look into seeing if there's a POW camp nearby. I mean, there's got to be. If we figure the Soviets are taking prisoners, the Americans probably are too.
Fuck the Russians.
Out of character, I agree with you wholeheartedly. In character, Gorham doesn't really have a bad thought about anybody, so.
He's literally killing all these people and is like, yeah, I don't really feel bad about that. Or I
Well,
don't
no, no,
feel-
no, no, no. It's like it's less that and more like, because the thing is that she actually genuinely, in most cases, tries to avoid conflict, but I mean, has no problem with killing people if she needs to. It's just she doesn't necessarily enjoy doing it. She's not a pacifist, but neither is she like, you know, like a blood knight who's out to kill as many people as she can. It's like if I got to kill somebody, I will, but unless it's for the sake of like, you know, thinning enemy numbers or protecting innocent people, I mean, she'll do what she's got to do. So.
All right. So you want to recon for you want to recon for a prisoner war camp, or do you actually know where it is?
That actually
Well,
does beg a.
maybe we shouldn't be having this conversation in this village with all these villagers standing around.
Well, I mean, we came to help them,
Probably
so I
is-
can't imagine they'd be
Oh, okay. Like
all
operational
these.
security, right, guys?
Then why are they all set to hostile?
I don't know. That's I think that's just how NPC tokens in Twilight 2000 are by default.
They're
Yeah,
they're
that's pretty-
hostile because we have food.
I the they're hostile by default, and because it's just like I just put them down to illustrate like a crowded
Okay.
village scene.
Got
Like
it. Yep.
This
They're-
one
they're
down
not
here
about-
looks kind of like a zombie.
Now that you mention it,
It's Quado. He's gonna tell us to start that reactor.
Open your mind.
All right, now we go under a ancient Polish alien ruins. Now,
so
This
They
is
asked
the
for-
Alien RPG after all.
kind of. I was going to ask Emily. Actually, is that something if, yeah, and also the new PCs, if that's something they knew of, would they have had any? Because they're probably in a different part of the country than we were. Would they have known any prisoner of war camps nearby? Like any
funny
allied?
you should say. We'll pull you to the map of Poland, and I will make this. Well, I'll make this text box, but I drew on the map as well because it's a location tag. There is one that you guys would have heard of if you're coming through. I rolled a d20.
That was me.
So I mean, well, I guess the question is, with that meta knowledge for you guys, I mean, do you mention that? Oh yeah, actually, we do know of a POW camp.
If Emily, if the GM decides that yes, we've heard of it, and then absolutely.
Yep, I will say like you have heard of this place. Like, I would say that you probably haven't been there, but you definitely heard like rumors of where this POW camp is.
I might have strayed closely as I was wandering the countryside, maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I mean, so do you mention that?
Of course.
Okay. Well, because then Gorham
Uh,
like looks to whoever was saying like like, well, do we even know if prisoner? I was like, well, I do now.
Yep. I during my travels before I ran into Austin here, I stumbled across one. I since I was all by myself, I figured that I would just commit it to memory and get the hell out of there. But yes, I know where one is.
So well, basically what I was thinking was because I mean she has her arms like shrugs, like let's face it, we were all pawns in the same war. And look where that got us. It's like so many. I mean, people want to just go home. They say, "Screw this, let's just get out of here." And you can't really do that if everybody's trying to kill each other. So I figure, trying to talk it out with the Soviets and see if they'd be willing to exchange their prisoners for U.S. prisoners and sort of talk things out with the whoever's in charge of the U.S. POW camp. I mean, that could be a good first step to reducing hostilities, which would be another step to getting us the heck out of here.
And mine kind of looks incredulously at her. You think the Soviets will listen to reason?
Actually, yes, and I know that because well, two things. The first one is, well, three instances. So the first one was there were the Soviets. I don't remember what session it was, but there was Soviets that were like they broke down on the side of the road, and they actually needed help. And I mean, they were armed, but we came over there and helped them, and they didn't try to like double cross us and like kill us and steal our vehicles or anything like that. Like we helped them, and then they thanked us and they took off. The second instance, not necessarily Soviets, but there was this nihilistic doomsday cult leader who Gorham had one conversation with him and turned him into a good guy. And then the third and most recent example was it was when we were on our way here, as a matter of fact. There were some Soviets that were hurting a bunch of POWs, which is how we eventually learned at the camp. So after completely mopping the floor with most of the Soviets, Gorham approached these survivors and basically just had another conversation with them, offered them mercy. They gave us the intel. They didn't, swear loyalty to us, but they were receptive enough to what I was trying to do to say like, all right, well, we'll just peacefully part ways. So Gorm says like, trust me, there is actually good in the Soviets. And I mean, I just try to see the best in anybody anyway.
Okay. So, out of character, where Emily, where is the POW camp that
Which one?
I'm supposed to? That's okay. That's the American one. So where's the Russian one?
Here.
Okay.
The Hornet's Nest is the Russian one.
So the Hornet's Nest POW. That's where Americans are.
No, you got the U.S. American prisoners are at the Hornet's Nest. That's the one that we learned of.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So, I point out it's it's pretty much north. I mean, I assume that this is where we are.
Yeah, we're at the Minutemen. We're at Gliwice, where the April Fool's icon is, which is for
Yeah.
some reason upside down.
Okay. Well, it's straight north. So.
Yeah, well, that's where I'm planning to go after we deal with and Gorm says, well, I mean, if anybody wants to come with me, but the idea is to have it be a non-confrontational occurrence, especially with POWs at stake. So, I mean, if you guys want to drive around and kill stuff, then don't go with me.
Well, let's stay here and kill stuff first.
Okay.
Apparently,
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a Soviet division coming.
Yep.
All right. All right.
All right. Okay, so I've shown you the locations. I'll bring you back to the big 3x3 tile map, so you can position yourselves where you want to be. So I put down Martin, Ray, and Travis rather.
I see that it didn't
So-
bring Magus over for some reason, even though he was on the farmland or on the world map.
He may still be loading into the big map.
Yeah, like I was saying, it just won't load this map for me. I don't know why.
I mean, I could potentially stream my screen for you, so you can at least see what's going on.
Let me try to reload the page again.
Okay.
Do Shift Control R.
Yeah, it's still stuck on like 98%.
Can you hit F12 and see what's in the log?
What's that?
Can you hit F12 and see what is in the log?
Let me take a look here. Saying something about an image width and height isn't defined. That's the only error that I see.
Can you take a screenshot of it? Can you take a snippet of it and paste it?
Let's see here. No, I'm not getting that error. I'm just getting a warning.
Okay.
I mean, we don't need to try to debug this during the game session.
Okay.
So do you want me to share my screen?
Sure.
Okay, let me just make sure. Where's Foundry?
Excuse me.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah. You guys currently have vision on the map because in the previous session, I basically told the party like they have an idea, like there's only really one way the Soviets can approach. You know, it's across this big open field and a bunch of people and several towns. And you guys have access to several like grunts on the ground. It's like Minutemen NPCs will be fighting in the battle.
Yeah, why is this guy out in the middle of the road?
I dragged him out randomly, and apparently there's a random location I told him to.
Yeah, you might want to move these guys into cover. So
Yeah.
What's the plan here? Are we gonna like ambush some people?
yeah, because the thing is that we have cover in the form of the town and the hills. They have to come out through an open field. So basically, just kind of as a nutshell, what we're doing. So we have 3 javelins. I'm carrying one of them. So Gorham is over here with 2 of our like NPCs, former player characters back here. The squad sniper Vincent is up here in the farmhouse. Arthur has a hunting rifle. He's at the church. The javelins. Well, actually, we also have mortar teams back like here and here, and then
Where's-
javelin. What?
Oh, never mind. I found the sniper.
Yeah.
Vincent Bradbury.
We have 2. Yeah, we have 2 snipers. Vincent and then Arthur is the second one. And then javelins back here, and then where's the other javelin? Up here, similar like near Gorham. And then a whole bunch of fucking people down here. And then I think the folks over here, including some rescued American POWs, the characters with unique art. I think one of them has a rocket launcher. Or was that one of the Minutemen who has a rocket launcher? Like,
Just the Minutemen have a. They have a couple, I believe. I gave them RPGs. Let me
okay,
double
because I was
check
gonna
that.
say you would definitely want them to have at least one rocket launcher if we're going to be that close to the tanks.
Yep.
Can I?
Go ahead.
Can I hide here, and then move over here and take cover, and go prone and ready my MG3.
Yeah.
Time to
Wherever
get
you want to.
time to get all painful out of the bag.
Oh, painful. So, yeah, instead of
Certainly wasn't.
old painless from Predator, it's more like old excruciating.
Yeah, exactly.
All I have is like a basic rifle, so I would just be wherever, a random rifleman would be.
Let's
Yep.
just hide in a building so we don't get shot in the middle, or we'll just go in here.
Sure.
Yeah. Probably not in the front lines because they'll get overwhelmed. We'll just be in the mid lines, and I'm just gonna be playing medic.
Why are these Russians attacking us?
Good question.
They're Russians.
So we just know that they're gonna attack this town, and we're
Yeah,
like,
we
we're
might
not
not
gonna
have
let them attack
intel on
the town.
why.
Yeah.
Well, that does beg a question,
Um,
Emily. Do we have intel? Why?
Yeah.
They're big
What,
assholes.
well, yes, but there are other reasons.
Well,
They. Go ahead, Cody.
sorry. Well, you finished before I cut you off.
Yep. So basically, what Karsten will tell you is that from the intel that his group has gathered, the Minutemen, the 11th Tank Division, they've been routed from their original position, so they're rolling over whoever they can to gain weapons, supplies, food, water, anything that they can get, and uh, they're mainly targeting Gliwice because proper faction seated in the town, and if we take them out, then we'll have control over this seated chunk of Poland, in this section.
So, well, what I do want to hash out is the fact that obviously, we were discussing this during the planning phase last session, but just a reminder that I do. Obviously, Gorm definitely, true to form, wants to have a word with. If there's anybody left over who surrenders, then well, first of all, keep Rabid Robert away, far the fuck away from them. But I do want to have a word with them, get some more information, possibly, show them the error of their ways without fucking ending their lives. But obviously, if anybody anybody what we agreed on was if they stay and fight, then obviously kill them. If they retreat, don't waste the ammo on them. Because I'm pretty sure that's also a war crime to shoot at somebody who's retreating or otherwise not, directly attacking you.
Oh, well, so definitely not. So, I mean,
Oh no, we
as
can
far as I
kill whoever we
understand,
want, pretty much.
unless they've literally surrendered. If an armed force attacks you and then they're retreating, you can lay
Oh.
in artillery or whatever you wanted.
Oh, okay. And then scratch what I said. Yeah, I mean, if it's per the laws of war, because Gorm definitely advocates for that.
You can turn their head into a stump if you so
They're
desire.
still an armed opposing military force, whether or not they're actually shooting at you at that moment.
True.
If they've
also,
actually surrendered, that's a different thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Is the Hague even a thing anymore? Like Williams, didn't that get blown up? It's
It's
over in
probably
the
a crater.
Dutchlands, right?
They're gonna
It's
put you in the
probably
nuclear crater.
Well, that is the Hague, but we are talking about the Geneva Convention, and of course.
Is Geneva
Switzerland
still there?
Conveniently.
Probably gone.
I'm sorry.
Geneva's probably duked.
Why?
Switzerland probably stayed out of the war just as they always do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't they have
because
a giant
they're-
network of bunkers for the entire population?
Because everyone knows the Swiss banks were just going to come out on top of all of this.
We can't trust the Swiss. We got to nuke them anyway.
Yeah, of course.
That's
So-
one way to eliminate your debt.
Southwest.
I don't talk in the minutia of, is this a war crime if I fire at someone who's retreating? that I was not expecting that conversation today. Kudos, guys.
Well, either way, I mean, if they surrender, Gorham would, go through fire and water to ensure that they aren't just executed, because then, we're no better than them,
Yeah.
or no better
Oh yeah,
than
that's
fucking
totally
marauders.
different. Executing people that are surrendered are
Yeah, if it's a genuine
that's very
surrender,
illegal.
then yeah, that's not cool. But I mean, I guess yeah, if they are okay. Well, I just want to hash this out so there isn't a repeat of this certain incident from a different game. But
What's the who's who on the tanks here?
I think wasn't the middle one a T-72 and the others were like T-64s?
Yeah, the middle one is a T-72, and these are there were two T-72s and one T-62.
Oh,
These two
okay.
are
Okay. T-62 is significantly less of a threat. I mean, it's still a big metal box that can
With a
shoot
cannon on it,
explosives
yeah.
at you, but you could probably get through it with a sufficiently thick pin.
Yeah, and I've got just the pin. Gorham says she massages the the tube of the javelin that she carries.
Oh, you don't gotta massage it.
Well,
That's
I
why.
gotta show some, appreciation, respect, and love for St. Javelin.
Uncomfortable. I don't know what about that conversation made me uncomfortable, but I am. But
I'm a priestess of the
yeah,
Church of Demolition. You gotta. Gorm says.
You got to get the missile hard before it'll shoot.
Well, I wasn't gonna go that far, but
All the male soldiers look at Gorham right now and like, yeah, you were.
well, she says, well, if that's the case, I wouldn't know because I never had that level of back in Arizona or in Italy or in prison twice.
I hope you wouldn't have access to javelins in any of those places.
Oh, I wasn't talking about javelins. Never mind.
Oh,
Mine just stands there with a stupid grin on his face.
Well, I mean, she's like, well, I mean, before I shipped out the basics, like my, guys never wanted to date me and never.
But the javelins did apparently.
Well, you never tried dating at a Buc-ee's then.
Buck. Damn, I guess they do have everything.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh God,
Yeah.
just Google it. BUCEES.
It's
Okay.
a Texan
Mind-boggling.
thing.
Mind
Well,
Sorry,
boggling.
Gorm is an Arizonan thing, so.
Yeah, Phoenix, Arizona, a testament to man's hubris.
I don't think dudes have uteruses. Uteri?
So, anyway,
dying.
A chain of travel centers known for clean bathrooms and many fueling positions.
Just look at a picture of one of the places.
hold
It's
on.
I gotta see this.
insane.
Like, is it Buck
Yeah, it's
E's with like a dash in the middle?
Yeah.
My favorite one is the Buc-ee's with ISIS.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I like how they're all the size of Walmart for a gas station.
Or like, I'd say it's more the size of like a big like Sam's Club. Like where
Beaver nuggets.
It's
Cinnamon sweet.
it's
Okay.
huge and like
I'm moving on.
Gas station with 200 fucking gas pumps. That's a testament to man's something or
Hubris.
another.
yeah, it's very Texan.
everything's bigger in Texas. Even the giant fucking beaver on the side of the gas station. But I digress.
Well, Gorham, like she holds the javelins like, well, St. Javelin here was made by Texas Instruments, so you may have a point.
Yep, all the best things are made in
Calculator, people.
Texas. Bell helicopters, Texas.
All right.
Lovely.
So how far out are the Russians?
Currently they are like as of like the 26th of April, they are they're a couple days away. So they'll be here by the 30th.
And here I'm lying on the ground, ready with my.
Yeah, I
MP3.
mean, can we just like fast forward, like the?
Yeah.
Because I mean, we've already got our plan set up, so.
We just like lay in the grass and chill for a long time.
Yeah, we'll spend the next shift just be playing I Spy with our eyes.
Oh God, Gorham's just gonna love that.
Yeah, and then we get to Williams, who just says R, and we're like, oh, the Russians are here.
Yeah. Yeah, I spy. Oh, there they are.
I spy a guy with like a really rough bald spot. Oh man.
I spy a
I-
mechanized company coming in from the east.
I spy a whole bunch of guys that are swaggering. Oh my god, they're drunk.
Okay.
Hey, that's actually a
Um,
legit strategy. What if we put like a giant stockpile of vodka like a mile away from the town, and they get shit faced before they attack us?
Yeah, but I mean,
You're also gonna
then
get
we
all the
wouldn't have
poles in
that.
the area attracted to. That's how you're gonna get ants.
Hearing
We
some
said that
interesting
they're scavenging.
sounds.
What? But if they find a bunch of alcohol, they're gonna drink it.
Yeah. So is everyone else, because we're in Slavic lands. They're all alcoholics.
okay, so I forget how much vodka is in one of the vehicles or in the team stuff. If
Let's
you-
Oh
see.
god. We actually gonna do it?
I was just kidding. I was
If-
only
if
kidding.
you
Well,
would, I
you
would
might have been
give you
onto
a-
something there.
No, this is
I'll give you one,
galaxy brain warfare. This is Sun
two
Tzu level shit right here.
If you actually go
I
through
mean-
this with this, I will give you an extra 2 XP for the session, all of you. 'cause I
Okay.
find it very fucking.
So let's see how much booze do we have? In the I'm
You'll
just
have to
checking
give
in
up half.
half. Oh shit. Then yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear you say that because we have Well, hold on. I thought we had like
Have a-
100 something of it from Henrik when his obsession with booze. Let me just check the group loot. Or no, that's the loot pile, item pile. No, that's not it. Group loot, there it is. Yeah, we have 77 homemade vodka in the group loot.
$77.
77.
I mean,
Does that
how much is that?
77
Like, is that
bottles?
enough to get like a shit ton of people
Probably.
absolutely wasted?
If that is 77 bottles, oh yeah, there's going to be a whole bunch of people absolutely shit faced.
Let me
That's
ask
what
if
you
the
got.
Emily, are we, so if we actually get them all drunk, would that also give us like, in terms of initiative? Because I imagine they'd probably be kind of mentally off. Their brain cells probably down to a single digit number. Would we be able to get like the automatic like, first slots in initiative thing to get the edge on them because they're probably not even expecting us by that point?
Yeah.
Their morality goes down by 5 because all of a sudden they see twice as many enemies.
They're like not even gonna be able to reload their weapons and shit.
No, imagine the tank driver swerving around and running over some of the troops.
Oh, this is getting better and better.
Oh man.
So,
Splat.
so you said we had to fork
Runs
over
into a
half of
tree and
the
falls apart.
half of the vodka.
Yes.
Okay, 77
So
divided by
like
2.
35.
77 divided by
say,
2
like,
is
30.
38.5. Do you want to round up or down?
Just do 37
Yeah,
and make
yeah.
a round number.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're down to 77 minus 37 is 40.
I hope to the new players at the table, I hope you're having fun so far because this is the kind of shenanigans the party gets up to that I absolutely adore.
The crazy thing was Marty's idea. So
Yeah. Oh boy. But all right. So
We're
the
gonna tally up that
morning
2
of the
XP.
30th,
Just
What?
so I don't
We
forget.
get
More-
XP for this?
Yeah, she said 2 bonus XP if we commit to this plan. So
Yeah.
yeah.
There we
Fuck
go.
So on the morning of April 30th, at around 6 o'clock in the morning, you will see on the horizon the approaching tanks and the foot soldiers. However, riding ahead of them, you see a to get this horse token. There's not like a token with a man on horseback. It's like a horse. But you see a Soviet officer approaching on horseback, like he's holding like a white flag, like he wants to.
Is
like,
the horse
highlight-
drunk too?
No, if they actually care about their animals, they they won't. That's for later to get the horses drunk.
That's for okay, noted.
So
You said a white flag?
Martin
Yeah.
Martin notices this and he whispers in his comm, "Hey, Gorham, white flag. Go
Looks
do
like
your
they want to surrender.
Are they?
Yes.
Oh God.
Hey,
Shit.
you wanted to be
This is-
to be merciful.
This is true. So if they're
Did you jump in your mouth?
hey, no, she doesn't object. I'm going to well just make sure that those tanks are targeted and that we've got everybody, like basically so the guys with the RPGs, they would have a side shot on this tank. Javelin A targets this, Javelin B targets this.
I'm
Okay.
guessing the small one is the T-62.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Martin again goes into digs into his comms and says, "Watch out for perfidy."
So well actually hold on. Yeah, because this is definitely a is there any way with that I can that like a recon roll could be done to see if there's anything kind of off about their ruse? Like sort of like a spotting the thread kind of thing.
What kind of vibes does this guy have?
Sure.
Even
Yeah, someone
even
make
his
me-
even his horse is staggering. That's the vibe.
He's actively vibrating.
Like he gets off his horse, then throws up in the stand, then walks towards the village.
So
Like
so
like,
you said it's a
he-
recon?
yeah. Make me a recon roll.
Does scout apply for spotting like ambushes and stuff? I mean, I don't have it, but maybe somebody could give me like Vinny has it. He could help.
Yep, that will apply.
Okay, so would I be rolling AA or AB?
AA.
Okay.
Maths. Never mind, I can say it.
Is it me or is that really a shitty roll?
I mean, I succeeded, and so if it isn't opposed,
did.
then
So what's the success? The star?
the success. No, the red splat is like a fail, like a critical failure on a dice, but the 6, the green, is actually a success. Like it's like Alien, where a 6 or higher is an automatic success. There is no cancellation of successes unless it's an opposed roll, which in this case I'm guessing it
Okay.
is not.
Okay.
Mhm.
6 or higher with a D6.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
yes. Well, it can be.
You know, I had to make a joke about that.
So,
okay.
my question is though is oh actually never mind. But yeah, but I guess like I said, my original intent was just to find out like before going down there, is there something off about the ruse or does this seem genuine?
This seems like a genuine, like, I want to like talk.
Oh, this
approach
is
these-
a pleasant surprise.
Yep.
So, but just to be clear, like with this, because I did succeed, there is nothing fishy going on here, right?
No, there's something fishy.
Okay, so Gorham goes out, and here's a pro gamer move that probably neither the Russians nor our guys are expecting. She speaks in fluent Russian, and a raised voice is like, "Hold your fire, do not fire, please do not fire, for the love of God, do not fire." And she has her arms outstretched, and she actually does have a contingency plan. She has a bottle of vodka and a satchel, and like anybody close, like looking closely would see the like the arm of the bottle kind of sticking out, like the top of it sort of sticking out. So, you know,
Yeah.
ready to
I'm
share a
sure
drink.
they need
Like-
more of that right now.
The people are continuing to approach, but they're not approaching to like attack. This is
Okay.
just, like,
Are the tanks aiming at me?
no.
Oh, thank God. Okay. So, Gorham shouts out to. Oh, the officer's right there. Well, she would basically position herself across from the officer and would be was saying, "Comrade, to whom do I owe the pleasure?"
Oh God, my head. Pretty about to do a day for this dude. 'cause
Maybe
I'm
he's
not
too
being
drunk to
good
remember it.
bullshit. Yeah, he's like, fuck. Doesn't matter. I'm here to discuss things with you people in the Minutemen who not intend to fight you. I don't think I could fight you.
Oh, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Like I'm getting little snippets missing.
Help.
I mean, I heard the
My
part where he's not
apologies.
here to fight us, but didn't really catch what he
Yeah.
said before that.
Okay. There we go. That didn't pick me up
Much
better.
better.
'Cause
Much better.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
I will not have this many issues next week. I promise you. I need to. Don't know, but basically what he says is like, I don't remember my name currently.
Well, I thought I have a name in mind for a character from Terra Nova. I mean, if you wanted to use like Shapunov, like the autocannon,
Sure.
which would actually be a bonus meaningful name. I mean, he's commander of mechanized division, so after
Sure.
the guy who was
will
named
you-
after what?
Can you put that name in the like the images and notes channel, please?
Sure.
So I remember it. Yeah. I
where's
am.
Emerson?
I'm Captain Shipanov. It's. Oh, God, my head. Like I said, I'm not here to hurt you. I have been sent ahead of the rest to discuss ending this peacefully, possibly.
Gorham, like, she got rubbish, and is like, oh, I'm liking the sound of this. And says that, and yeah, says, like, go on.
I must speak with the leader of the Minutemen, and who are you?
And she says, does like a, like in again Russian, but impersonating Tim Allen. I am Sergeant Hillary Gorham of United States Army. I come in peace. Like just going like straight up like Buzz Lightyear.
That took me a minute. That makes me giggle. Sergeant Gorham, it's very nice to meet you. Let me, show the way so I can speak with the leader of the Minutemen.
Well, the caveat for both of our safety, Gorham is going to propose, I mean, just to seem like she's being fair and not like luring the commander into a trap. If he wants to allocate like a couple of guys to guard him and be like witnesses, and I don't mean like half the force that you just moved, I mean like maybe like one squad of those guys
Yeah.
at most.
Sure.
Because we do have a numerical advantage. I just don't want to give the impression to the Russians that like we're leading this Shapunov into a trap so he can be our hostage. That's not the vibe I'm trying to give. But I mean,
Okay.
we still have
Sure.
enough people outnumbering them, so that way, if he does try to like I don't know assassinate Parson or something, which I don't believe he is, then we at least have the means to get the drop on them. So Gorham does say like I will. Well, first of all, she does radio Parson and she does speak in English, just under the assumption that Shapunov cannot understand. She says, you okay with this? To Parson.
Yeah. I mean, does he seem like he's trying to pull a fast one on us?
No, he does not. Which again, and I'm going off of like what Gorham, what her heart tells her, as well as the vibe he gives,
Yeah.
how drunk he is, and of course the fact that I succeeded on a roll, which backs that up. So she says no, he's I mean, I genuinely get the feeling that he's being honest with us.
Yep.
And she also says that she like she did say to this guy, just like she just runs him through the plan of like, you know, I talked him into giving us, or like I talked him into like letting him bring a couple of his guys just to give the impression that we're not trying to, you know, pull a sneaky on him. But just be sure to have some of your guys prepared just in case. And she's not speaking loud enough to you know, to where, I mean, even if he was sober enough to understand, but she I mean, she has like her hand on her earpiece
Yeah.
and is kind of speaking in a hushed tone.
Yep, I get you. Like, well, what you see, like when you like glance back at Shipanov, is that you see like he's currently like leaning over the side of the horse and like vomiting. So yeah, he's definitely not listening to
Okay,
you.
yeah. So,
You're
well, I am
good.
keeping my eyes on him at all times. So,
Yep.
And you know, Gorham is speaking in terms of like our whatever our, you know, radio frequency is, just so everybody else can hear what's going on as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, she after getting Parsons' approval, she says, "Mr. Shipunov, sir, please follow me." And she's going to lead him down like the road, so like just make like through a route where it's not apparent that we have a whole bunch of guys visible, so that's kind of the cue for these idiots to get off the street.
Yep.
Where is Parson? Like, where would he be at the church? Or is he, where is he?
Yeah, he'd be in the church.
Okay.
I just forgot to put down his
That's all good.
token.
So, yeah, Gorham just kind of, you know, she leads the way, sort of unintentionally, just kind of hip swaying, you know, like mesmerizing this guy. Probably not, just kidding. Well, unless he actually is. Never mind. So, but she's kind of casually sort of marches along, just sort of, you know, not a care in the world, but is turning to look back every so often, make sure that everything's going well. At least in terms of like making sure this guy's following us, that kind of thing, and also occasionally taking a glance over at the tanks, make sure they aren't trying anything. But yeah, she leads the
Yep, they'll go up the road.
guys up to the church, which she looks up, like just kind of glances her head up for a split second where Arthur is and kind of winks. Just
Oh,
as
that's
like
a
a
signal to shoot him, right?
no. Like it's just sort of like a gesture of like, uh you know, like I know you're there, hopefully you're paying attention, kind of thing. But not like, not like basically because you know, this guy, like Shapunov and his men, are seeing my backside, you're seeing my face, so you can see that, but they can't. Whereas if I was like nodding to you, they could see my head moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's a gesture that you can see that they can't. So, but yeah, anyway, so Gorham leads them to Parson and steps aside. And I do want to note that she doesn't have her javelin out, but she does have her shotgun sort of slung under her arm, so she can, worst case scenario, use that. So she does Parson come out on his own, or do I have to like knock and get him out?
He'll like come out and
Okay.
stand.
So, do we know if Parson speaks any Russian? Because I can be a translator if needed. I mean, I'm not going to like parrot everything he says, but you can just have like them converse, and then I can just assume that Gorham translates.
Yeah. He speaks well enough like Russian and English, and you can all speak English together.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
You know, obviously the dude is like slurring, like he's, you know, well, quite literally been on a 3-day bender, but
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Let me. Very quickly upload the new token I found for Shipanov. Just
What's his rank, by the way? Do you have that figured out?
captain. He's a captain.
Okay. I just made that note because I don't think I got his rank before, and I just updated the images and notes.
Make sure I spelled that name right. Yep, I did. I'll just update the prototype token. But yeah, just sort of like full of dead airspace. What are the other guys doing? You're just like keeping watch, I imagine. Planning
Yeah.
nefarious things.
Just holding position, I think.
Always.
My MG3 is pointed is aimed square at the head of
The officer?
Drunk Rusky.
That
Drunk
seems a
Rusky.
bit excessive.
Yeah, with an fucking MG3 too. Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still.
And yes, it's excessive.
If he notices it,
and
he's probably not going to be as likely to be nice.
Well, I mean, think
he
about it like
doesn't-
this.
He
He's
doesn't see me.
Yeah.
I'm like prone.
yeah, and he's facing Parston, so
This is the shipping off. Let's say I thank you for being willing to, speak with me about this. All of you.
is Parston saying that, or is the captain?
The captain. I. Oh, my head. Yes.
Also, one thing I want
So-
to make clear, just as a side note, just to keep everybody involved, because like I said, I'm assuming we're all still like in, like on not like over radio communications. So like if anybody, like if there's anything you would want to say, I mean, you could technically say it through Gorham's, like through Gorham, and then like she would relay that. I mean, unless of course it's something like to the effect of what Edwin and Rabbit are. Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you, boy. It's like, oh, I'm not picking up what you're saying. So
Don't go full Rabbit Robert and threaten to shoot the Marauder on the side of the road and dump his body in the woods.
that happened in
That,
session one.
that's a paraphrase, but that's essentially what happened.
Yeah. So suffice to say, like if anybody has any like questions or commentary, just you could, even if you're not like directly in the scene, you still have a means to ask them. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah. Okay. So, Captain Shipanov, he'll begin by saying, "Listen, I don't want any more bloodshed. The irony is not lost on me that we're trying to roll over your town and whatnot, but I'm sure there's a way that we can work this out to the advantage of everyone here."
As a quick joke, like what's mentioned is like I don't want any more bloodshed, like bloodshed, blah blah blah, and then Gorham like she for comedic effect, she's like pointing at this guy, her arm shaking, like looking around with like an eager face, like I see. Not remember where Martin is, but it's kind of like an implicit "I told you so." And probably the drunk Russians behind her probably wonder what the hell she's doing, but are you drunk like us, American?
Basically. You're drunk, yes? Well, drunk on life, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. Which is said in character.
But yeah. God damn, I'm having a conversation with myself. I realize these two NPCs.
Well, you can just summarize like what they're discussing, and then if they have any questions for Gorham or any like point of input they want her and by extension the party's input on, you can just
Yeah,
kind of summarize what the agreement they've come to is.
sure. So they'll go back and forth for like, I'll advance the time that's been passing. Hour. So a couple hours will go
In
by.
the background,
of
Gorham
them-
offers to play rock paper scissors with one of the fucking NPCs. One of the like she's still listening, but where is that GIF?
I love it.
Like this is a game we play in America all the time, she says. Teaching one of the Soviet soldiers to do this.
Russian roulette.
No, rock paper scissors.
Oh.
I mean, she's
Makes
still
me
listening to the
face.
conversation, but what?
Yeah, just out of a little aside for a second, that reminds me of the South Park thing of like Rochambeau, which is they just kick each other in the nuts. It's just fucking stupid. I don't know why that popped to mind, but that did. But back to the game. So a couple hours will pass as they're like discussing, trying to come to an agreement. And at the end of it, Parston will, look at the assembled crowd and he says, well, like the group that's near the church, he'll say, well, here's what we're going to do.
Gorham freezes
turns
and
out-
plays her eyes pan over to Parson. He's like, oh, I want to hear this.
Yeah.
Like she's freezing in the middle of like a scissors, like rock, paper, scissors. Like she drew scissors and she's like, her head turned over to Parston.
Yep. So we've come to something of an agreement. My, kind of looks at Chippenoff. He'll say, well, not exactly friend, but I'll call him that. My new friend here. He says that, well, he's not going to destroy the town, and instead, there is a large, there's a large number of the force that's currently laying in the field, like passed out, like drunk asleep. I'll say it's like happens. It's not like nothing has happened. No bullets have flown. So they're like,
Imagine
oh,
maybe the tank can't, like the driver, like the gunner fell asleep in the tank, so the turret's doing like a donut. Like just spinning around
Exactly.
constantly because the guy fell asleep on like the wheel to turn it.
Mm-hmm. So this is the agreement we've come to. Half of his forces, of Shippenov's forces, will, half of them are willing to stay with him and, stay in this town, and we're willing to, accept them because, the more people we have for the Minutemen, the better prepared, the better armed, the better prepared we are for, holding down the fort in Gliwice. The other half are, they're free to go. So don't, tell your men not to take pot shots at them, Gorham, or tell your group not to take pot shots.
Yeah. Well, Gorham, like when he says kind of like holding her finger on her earpiece, so everybody picks that up.
Mm-hmm. And something we've also decided to do is I'm saying this mainly out of character so that the people who want to fire the javelins can actually have a chance to fire them. We are going to destroy the tanks, and so no one else can get a hold of them. We can find.
Whoa. I don't know about all
Why
that.
not just give them to us?
Yeah, hold on, buddy. Hold on. What the fuck? No.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. It's like we could just take the tanks for ourselves. Why blow up perfectly good tanks? There's probably only about like 30 of them left in the country.
Because if
Especially after me, you know.
Yep. If we give them to you, or we just, let them sit, they will draw additional attention.
Yeah, but then we'd have a tank or 3. What is he
Because
gonna do? Nuke us?
Well, Gorm, yeah, she raises the point. It's like, but don't you see? I mean, you say having tanks will draw attention to you. And it's like you're probably gonna with a force this large, you're gonna get attention drawn to you anyways. Why not be better prepared for it? I mean, would you rather, a bunch of marauders or, Soviet forces or Americans or whoever come at you? I mean, would you rather have tanks or no tanks? I mean, if it's going to happen either way, potentially, I mean, I don't know about you. I'd rather be prepared.
I see your point. You're putting the GM in an awful spot because you ended it peacefully when I was expecting a giant
Oh, to be fair, it was largely because of Martin that this one ended peacefully because it was his idea to get them all drunk.
Mm-hmm. And I went along with it, yes. But yep. We'll keep the tanks then. I feel like I've reached out to you in vain when was expecting this great. This is Parson saying this. I'll say I feel like I've set up a false flag. Asking you here to help, and we've ended this peacefully.
Well, no, Gorm's like, that's perfect, though, because think about it like this. You've got new allies, she says, putting her hand on Shapunov's shoulder. You've got some big, awesome tanks. You've got, javelins. You've got it all, man.
Can we have one of those tanks?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, it's just one T-72.
Do you really want a tank, guys?
Of course!
Is that actually a question?
You could ask any human on Earth, the most pacifist hippie person even, and they'd say, yes, of course I want a fucking tank.
Man.
I mean, the only thing that will top it is a helicopter.
Even that.
Choppers in this game are broken and not properly implemented, and I don't think I've shared the story about the helicopter incident with you,
shared
Ramba.
it to one group. Oh, to Ramba, yeah, no.
Yeah. I'll share it after.
Yeah, you shared it.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, either way, in terms of tanks, actually, are T-72s able to fire? Do they have ATGMs, like gun-launched ATGMs, like they do in fucking Warno?
It doesn't look like it on the weapons, no.
Okay, well they've got a massive cannon, so.
Yeah, and another thing about tanks is that there's only the T-72. There's only room for the crew. There's no passenger space.
Yes, there is. It's called the roof.
That is true.
But I mean, either way, we could still. I mean, we still have the UAZ. We still have the Humvee.
We're gonna have to get fuel around for it somewhere or somehow.
Well, here's another possibility: is depending on how much gas are in the tanks of the other tanks, we could take the majority of it for the one that, like, if we're taking one of the T-72s, because you figure if the Soviets are here to, like, the guys who are defecting are willing to help defend Gliwice, then they really just need the tanks as, like, turrets with enough fuel to reposition them as needed. They're not going to be going on, like, raids or reconnaissance missions. So they could give us.
Better not be going on raids.
So, well, either way, my point is that they're not going to need that much fuel, so they could just give it to us if they so choose. Which is the case that Gorham makes, is that, I mean, if we could appropriate one of the tanks and use the fuel, we could potentially make better use of it than you could if you were going to use these tanks to guard the town and the civilians.
And they do
within.
have all those javelins that we just gave them out of the goodness of our hearts.
Mm-hmm. The tanks use diesel fuel, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
They don't run on gasoline.
Well, I know that's all the more reason why we need to take that fuel for ourselves. So, well, Gorham, yeah, she does run that by Shiponov. She says it's like, Captain, they're your tanks, your fuel. I mean, if you're going to be staying here, then how much use they are to you, I don't, I mean, that's for you to decide, man.
And he was just going to kind of destroy them.
Yeah, I mean, if he was so willing to destroy them until Gorham talked him out of it.
Mm-hmm. Words I never thought I'd say or hear said at a Twilight 2000 table. Fuck it, you can have one of the T-72s. Or
Okay, hold on. I've got a reaction clip that sums up both me and Gorham in this instance.
I'm going to try to not make you regret that. It might happen anyway, but that would be outside of.
Well,
it would probably be inside of my.
Here's what Gorham says.
Q docs. God.
I posted a clip from the first Battlefield Bad Company that would sum up Gorham when she hears, "We're getting a tank."
Yep, I'll make a duplicate of the T-72, because that is the one you want, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Fuck yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I got what T-72 is it? I guess that's maybe a little too specific. Is it like like one of the more modernized, or maybe it got left behind a little?
I think it just they just break it down by like T-72 and then T-80 and so on. So I don't think.
Well, no, there's like a billion.
I know that. I'm just saying in the game there aren't variants.
Yeah, there isn't that much variance. I mean, if you know the difference and if the weapons are in you have access to the weapons, you can customize it, because I was meaning to give you another party vehicle because you were running low on transportation, but not now. Oh, the big old fuck you tank.
Yeah. The main differences would be like reactive armor and like thermal
Optics.
thermal gun sights, thermal commander optics. That's the big thing that changes.
Actually,
models,
this
really.
hold on. The 2A46M that this T-72 has actually does have, well, T is turret, FC it has a fire control system, and it has infrared.
So that probably is a more modernized. Interesting.
Let me just double
Very
check
interesting.
the weapons and vehicles, because they break down the different qualities. Yes, see, infrared. Does it specify what infrared does effect wise? Oh, page 84 and 85. Oh well, fuck. That's in the vehicle combat, I think. Check that. Vehicle combat. Okay, so infrared is okay, interesting. Apparently it's not quite the same as like thermal, but for effective up to medium range with its IR spotlight on. So okay, whatever. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, I guess. Okay, well, we got a huge goddamn tank. Gorham hears this and has her, unrestrained yeehaw, like jump for joy, and then kind of composes herself a second later. Acts like she did not just do that.
Here I was gonna give you motherfuckers a BTR 60. I was gonna give you a busted one, but you have to earn it, and well, you earned your T-72. add that badge to your whatchamacallit.
Who do we have that can drive this thing?
Me.
Technically, anybody can drive anything with the driving skills. So I think it's Megas you can also drive,
Yeah,
or rather, Ray can drive.
there's not training for like specific vehicles, right?
There can be, but by default, no. Like the book even says, like all characters are assumed to know how to drive, X, Y, Z.
Hmm.
But they do have rules where you can say, like, if you want to make it more realistic, like you have to have a specialty to be able to drive it. But this game hasn't really
Tank,
done that.
helicopter, Toyota, it's all the same, really.
Yeah, pretend you're an FPS protagonist. and
Yeah.
it's-
It uses the same joypad anyway. Just get your PS5 controller.
Yeah.
Um,
If you can drive a golf cart, you can drive an F-16.
so in terms of driving, so yeah, we've got Gorham as one driver, Ray as another, and then I think it was Zavadska who was driving the UAZ.
Liquor cabinet. Yep.
So
It is a 3-person crew.
right. Oh, that does raise a good point though. That in terms of it's like if there's a turret with heavy weapons, I have AB for heavy weapons. Martin, what do you have for heavy weapons total? For agility plus heavy weapons.
Agility plus heavy weapons. Agility?
Yeah, because basically when a heavy weapon is mounted to
Oh.
something like a turret mount or a cannon or something, it uses agility. But if you're carrying it, it's strength.
Agility B, heavy weapons A.
Okay, so you've got the same heavy weapon. Like if we're using the tank in like a combat environment, if you want, you can man the gun.
No, I think that would be wise.
So then like Gorham or whoever could drive.
There is the tanker specialty, which gives like a bonus to driving all tracked vehicles. So it, even the specialties are kind of like, umbrella, like, if you have this specialty, you get the bonus for
You could
this
drive a
kind of vehicle.
T-72 as easily as a Bradley.
Yeah.
Because it also should be noted that that specialty, I mean, like it's for driving during travel as well as driving in combat.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, so I guess, well, first of all, if we're all, in like it's definitely not going to be a quick process, but Gorham is definitely going to give from her endless sack of Chuck E. Cheese tokens, a Chuck Buck, to all the people all the Soviets specifically, including Shipanov. Like even the guys who are deciding who opt to leave, she's still gonna give them a little memento of her kindness and mercy and the fact that we were able to kind of reach a truce this day, like a reminder that peace is possible.
A Chuck Buck.
Yep.
You're gonna have to share that story about the Chuck E. Cheese thing as well. Gonna have to go into the grand saga of Charles Entertainment
Well,
Cheese.
not the lore, but just just with yeah, that's the thing with Gorham in this game is that whenever she like helps somebody, whether it's just doing like a quest for somebody or sparing enemy soldiers in combat or making peace deals, she always she has a whole bunch of Chuck E. Cheese tokens, so she gives one to each person she's helped as a souvenir / calling card.
That's a strange thing to have all the way in Poland.
She says like, well, I mean, I was garrisoned in Italy before being redeployed to Fort Jail and then being redeployed to here. So there was a Chuck E. Cheese nearby when I was off duty, and and then there was an incident there, and well, it all got very interesting from that point on.
Arthur.
Oh boy. I didn't do it.
Make me a recon roll, please, with Scout, if you have it.
Oh boy. That's
Can he be
mildly concerning.
Can he be assisted by Vincent in the same way that Gorham was earlier? And
Yes.
Vincent is also watching out. So you get a +2. Oh,
+2. Boy. Oh, fuck me. What is happening?
A little bit behind the scenes action where the NPC doing something fucked up royally. But that's
God,
not your
what-
concern.
Well,
No, it is my concern. It's definitely my concern. I am very concerned.
and Arthur succeeded very well, so.
Yeah. All right. So as, celebrations are happening, people are, getting out of the tanks, moving them, getting them in position. You spot because people have like moved out of their like, the combat stuff, so I'll like me represent that by moving tokens around. I mean, you can stay in the position you are if you want. Just, the Minutemen will, jump out of formation. Because, hey, new buddies. Where is... what's the range on your rifle?
Mine?
Yeah, just so I can get, like, properly illustrate this with, like,
10.
distance and stuff. 10. Okay. So... All right. So from the top of like this hill over here, I'll shift ping.
It's Simmons.
Not exactly, but you ruined my reveal, you motherfucker.
Well, I mean, you were. Well, you were saying like right over here, and you were hinting as like a sniper, and then
It had to be a dubious character of some
Yeah,
sort.
exactly. I mean, who else fits the bill better than Simmons?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'll put this token on the board because you see him. And I will give you like, you'll have a turn to react before he does something.
Oh god.
Is there Oh shit.
U.S. Marine. Holy shit. It's U.S. Marine.
Who is this guy?
U.S. Marine.
No. If only Vincent were here, you notice that he's wearing like a similar like uniform as like Vincent. So this dude's Canadian. Actually, he's
Well,
not
Vin,
American.
but Vincent, he joined the U.S. Army though.
God.
Oh right, because NATO uses U.S. Army stuff.
He's Canadian.
Yes. But yeah, he's wearing kind of like NATO colors. So like technically allied, but not.
So what's he doing? Is he like setting up
He's
A
setting up his
sniper?
sniper gun.
Oh, I'm killing him. I'm shooting him. And he's Canadian.
Because the only thing that's missing is a helicopter.
Being Canadian is probable cause.
Well, then that would be Vincent because he's. That's our sniper who's Canadian as well. I mean, this guy down here is not, but.
Yep. So you notice that he is in like, he's been in like a sniper position for a while. And I'll reveal the role by him trying to like hide himself because there's gonna be like,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah, I see why.
He brought some leaves from home and they're like a completely different color. He's wearing like a desert ghillie suit.
If it were Simmons, then yes, he would be wearing a desert ghillie suit because that's what Simmons did. But like he's in like a proper sniper post, but like as like the morning has progressed, he basically you see the light like shining off his scope is like what tips you off.
Oh, I'm killing him. I'm shooting him. I'm shooting him immediately. No questions asked.
Okay, let me bring up the modifiers because there are some for shooting and to like this hex with the bushes.
Are there? Let me. I gotta say this, just for my own learning.
Combat damage.
I mean,
I
it
think
could
he
be,
is
like,
also
long
one
range or
tick out of my range.
full cover. Is he in full cover? Target prone.
Well, but
Yeah.
at the same time, Arthur is at the top of the bell tower of the church, so I would assume that's
Yeah,
probably
that
higher than
would-
the hill, and it cancels it out.
Yep. Okay. So, yeah, he is just out of your short range, so -1 for medium range.
Oh boy.
-2 for target prone. I'm just going through these modifiers, and we'll cancel them out as they come up. Just want to go through them to have the brain working. He is in partial cover, but he's not in full cover. To
Okay. So -3 then.
so -2. Um, one. It's canceled out by the height advantage. The terrain is -3 for the modifier overall. And then anything that you have that would cancel those.
Okay. I forget. Is aiming a thing in this?
Well, doing a whatchamacallit, a fast aim just cancels out a quick shot, but you can do like a slow aim for a. Actually, hold up. Does that rifle have a bipod?
It does not appear so.
Oh, well, actually, hold on. Doesn't resting it against a solid surface give you a
Yeah, you get a
plus-
+1 for bracing it. I believe it's a +1.
Yeah.
Bolt action. Let me double check. It does not have a bipod, unfortunately.
Okay, so
It's two-handed and scope are what it has on it.
Does the scope do anything?
the scope just lets you slow aim.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is slow aiming exactly? Can I still fire in the same turn?
No, slow aiming is a slow action.
Yep.
So you wouldn't be able to shoot and.
I will actually I'll still give you that bonus. It will just be the +1 bonus because you have been in a telescopic aim this entire morning. And
kind of been
kinda
using the scope to recon
Yep.
anyway.
Yep. I think
Okay.
it's only fair to give you a chance before
It would seem
Joker
I have
magic
a decent
pops up.
seem I have a decent chance at this.
Yep.
And making a called shot, that's also a -1, right? If I were to
-2.
do that.
-2.
-2. Okay, I'm gonna not be doing that.
However, the penalties max out at -3. So that's the biggest negative you can have. It won't be anything more.
Ooh, all right. I'm gonna do it.
You get a sound effect put on your sniper rifle. Oh.
I'm pushing it.
Oh. That's a crit.
Okay. Of course. This guy
Oh,
has
in
gear,
the head.
but yeah. So he is wearing a helmet, which will block one of that. So I think that's still it's not a crit, unfortunately.
No, but he's still 3 damage in a CUF roll.
Yep.
Also, Arthur, what's the magazine on that bolt action?
5.
Yeah, I would not have rolled ammo dice because
He couldn't have rolled ammo dice with the telescopic aim. That's just one shot.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Well, it doesn't matter then because he would have. Never mind.
He eats the headshot like no one's business, and so that was your turn, and he will then take so his action will be that after he gets shot, he's going to stand up and lose the cover.
Um,
And
question.
go ahead.
Given that we just heard a shot fire, and then the guy is now getting up and therefore exposing himself, would we then roll initiative to try to deal with him?
I'll say no, unfortunately, because it's just kind of like a like surprise round with him and Arthur.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And what he will do is that he's going to take basically like his fast action was getting up, his slow action will be to move off the hill and off the map. So he will disappear.
What a pussy! He's just like Simmons in Interstellar Marines, where he took a pot shot while he didn't even get to shoot, and then just ran.
I just fucking whack-a-mole that idiot.
But
I mean, shit, if you got sniped and you weren't even sure where, you'd run away too.
Yeah, but still, it's like the fact that he was there and he was going to try to take a pot shot at somebody, and he fucking got flushed out by another sniper.
Do we know who that guy was?
you do not. Well, I will say this, you've heard rumors of a guy calling himself the Butcher of Gliwice, who has been like terrorizing like this area, and like, after leaving Gliwice, like that area, going through like a thing of like a little lovely bit of destruction. But yeah, the party did like learn from Parston, and I'll say that all of you will learn this like from him because you've been there in Gliwice, that there is like I said, the Butcher of Gliwice. No one is really sure who he is, or where he came from. Well, now the party knows he's Canadian, so you figured out that little part. But why is he doing this? He has a penchant for killing officers. Is like the
And the
information
children.
that you know about the Butcher.
Oh,
Like a
dirty,
certain
rotten
other evil sniper.
bastard.
I will never stoop to Simmons' level. I promise you that. I would hate myself too much if I stooped to Simmons' level. But yeah, at this point you've all heard the gunshot, and what is your immediate reaction after hearing the gunshot?
Asking Arthur what the hell. I mean, assuming Gorm at least heard it from the church, like, what are you shooting at?
There was a, I don't know. He looked Soviet to me. He was gonna take a, he was set up in a sniper position. He looked ready to take a shot. Might have been Canadian, Soviet. I don't know.
Well, two questions I have, one for a character and one for our GM. So for the question for the character, Gorm is going to ask. I mean, she's not necessarily mad at Shiponov, but she is going to ask him, like, you didn't know anything about this, did you?
No, we were just approaching from the east. Yeah,
Okay.
up is north on this map.
Okay, and I'm assuming, and he is being truthful. I mean, I'm assuming there's no like.
Yeah.
All right. And the other question is, if he's running, and we have vehicles, can we try to chase him down?
Sure.
Okay, so
You're gonna regret telling us that. I promise. I just have a feeling.
so.
I know.
Yeah, I
but
guess.
As long as you're having fun, guys.
Oh, absolutely. Gorm, let's say our Humvee is over here. Gorm fucking hightails into the car, jumps in, like slams the horn twice for everybody to fucking get your asses in. For anybody who wants to.
I will get in. Or
Okay.
Sparks will get in.
So Sparks gets in. Final boarding calls. Anybody else going to jump in?
Yeah, I might as well finish what I started.
Yeah.
You want to man the 50 cal, Arthur?
I'm not particularly good at it,
I
so
can drive.
unless you have someone that's better.
Well, I mean, what we could theoretically do is, I mean, Sparks, if you want to drive, and then Gorham with heavy weapons can man the 50 cal.
Yeah, I'll drive.
All right.
Let me drive. Just tell me where he is.
Gorham, like, frantically looks around at Arthur. It's like, well, where'd it go?
He ran south, like directly south. He was on that hill over there.
And Gorham, like, no window of voice, says, southward! Ho! Points forward. Like, arm up in the air, then arm points forward.
I mean, that might not be a great idea if the guy's a sniper, but okay.
I mean, moving vehicle, 50 cal. We have a pedal-mounted gun. If
okay.
he's running, good luck trying to
We
get a quick
always-
shot.
Do I need
Imagine we
to
chase him
do a
down with the
driving roll
tank.
or anything?
I will first bring you to the map of Poland. And I need to look at explosives rules for no reason in particular.
Oh.
Hmm.
I mean, we
You know,
can
we brought it on ourselves.
if he's going to have if he has landmines deployed.
Yeah,
we do.
you can spot them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Okay. So he moved south.
He moved
From your-
that far in just a couple of minutes?
Well, just south. I'm just
Okay,
pinging
well,
to
okay.
stay south.
Okay, I thought you were saying he moved to that X. I was like, how the fuck fast is he?
He had a
Man, it's
getaway
Usain
vehicle
Bolt.
stashed.
Is Usain Bolt too? Usain Bolt, my god.
He had a motorcycle stashed somewhere. Really, urban sniper type shit. But no, I was just, pinging to say, he's moving in the southward direction. Oh boy. That's right. I was looking up those rules for later. This has gone off the rails and I love it.
Sounds like your dog's having a conniption in the background.
Yeah, give me 2 seconds to calm her down. I'm laughing and carrying on, and she thinks something bad's happening.
It's not that serious, dude. Relax.
No, we're just chasing after a war criminal on a motorcycle. With a Humvee. Actually, I am curious what the speed of the motorcycles are, because we've used one in the past, but I don't remember off the top. Oh, I can't fucking see it there. So I will use the PDF. Well, actually, do we have a party motorcycle? I mean, I know our Humvee is fucking fast. Is the motorcycle faster? Because I genuinely don't know if like a Humvee is faster than a motorcycle IRL, so I just want a better sense of speed for context in the scene. Where is this?
Probably not.
Let's see, a motorcycle is faster than I was expecting. But at the same time, we have a fucking M2 HB that has a range of 15. So it's like even if he has like a slight head start, because keep in mind, I mean, yeah, he does have to run to his vehicle, then we're driving around the corner, but it's like we could still probably get at least one, if not two shots on him. And even then, just for context, whatever, Gorham's going to target the motorcycle itself, just so he goes like flying off of it. He'll be injured, but at least he'll still be alive.
I'm back finally.
All right.
My dog was having a fit, and my brother walked in the door, which caused her to have an even bigger fit, which is
Lord.
lovely.
So, anywho, where were we? I mean, aside from chasing down a war criminal, potentially, if the two and the one are the same.
He was inspired by Simmons. He's not exactly Simmons. He's Simmons light.
Diet Simmons.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
He was Simmons' apprentice. There's the master and an apprentice. There, you know, it's like the Sith. We could, you know, if you want a map, you could potentially use that one map I made.
Ow. Um. Yep, this one works. So which vehicle did you jump into?
The Humvee, because it has a 50 cal
Cool.
turret on it.
Yeah.
The range of 15, short. And this time Gorham is manning the gun.
I am driving. Do I need to make a drive roll?
Well,
let
technically
me
you only
get
do
it.
driving rolls in combat to get extra hexes. Like, because, you know, like a vehicle has like a combat speed, which is how many hexes you can move with one fast action. But you can do a driving roll as a free action to see if you move extra hexes. Like it's like a 1-1 ratio. Like if you get 2 successes, you can move an extra 2 hexes.
Okay.
Yep. So it was Cody, Megas, Blitz. I believe you're coming along.
Oh yeah.
And then Ramba, I think you also wanted in on it.
That's fine. If you're chasing that guy, I think I'll just wait at the poker. Do Texas Hold'em back in the vase.
Okay.
Hopefully no one dies.
So Marty, are you going to stay with him or are you going to join us? I'll take that as the former. Well, it's a 3-man, and well, 2-man and 1-woman assault.
Yep. Okay, so
This time I need to change Gorham to the, oh, no, you already got it set up. Never mind.
I'm just populating the map real fast for you guys before I pull you guys over. Yeah, take into account you have a little bit of time to move. This is where he would end up. I just need to have that. I'll make a do it this way.
Have you switched over to the next map or are you still setting it up?
I'm still setting it up. Sorry, guys. I wasn't expecting the peaceful resolution, and then
I mean,
love the
I wasn't
craziness.
expecting it either, so.
Yeah, best laid plans of GMs. I should never expect one thing to happen, especially with this group.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is when they, you know, there was Marty's plan to get them all drunk, which I wasn't expecting. And at first, I was thinking like, oh, it's just going to seriously gimp them in combat. No, there wasn't even combat at all, which is ideal because it furthers Gorham's character, like moral code and big dreams. So,
Yep.
I'm totally,
and
if
I
anything,
hope,
happier with how it went out.
Yeah, I hope everyone has been having fun so far. Yeah, hopefully, I promised combat, but then no combat came.
Well, until now.
Well, you'll have to take the tank from us somehow. So we'll have to lose it in combat at some point.
Yep, and I still have the bunker that I could hold over your guys' head. Yeah,
I
really
mean, don't we have a bunch of NPCs in there that shut the door?
Yeah, well, not now, but down
Right.
the line. I mean.
So
I'll say like an hour has progressed since gunshot and
an
jumping
hour?
car, and half an hour actually for me.
If anything, I would think it would be like 10 minutes most. Personally, just in terms of, like, you figure it's like so the shot, like the shots fired. The shot fired. It's like a matter of seconds. The guy starts running like right after that. We get in the car within like a minute, and then next thing you know, we're on the road.
Yeah,
So
like 10 minutes. That makes sense. Okay, so he's in position. That's in position. Let me actually look at. That's what I'm thinking of. Which you don't need to worry about. It's fine.
then why'd you say
Yeah.
it?
Usually when the GM says something is fine, that means that everything's awesome and cool and in fact fine.
For
You
the
have
GM.
failed your gaslighting check.
I've been gaslit more by the players than I've gaslit the players, so
That's
you
why
know,
you need to let them know is they failed their gaslighting check.
Critical fail.
So you're still setting up the map?
Yep, I just need to put this on the sheet for him to roll it. Okay. So actually kitted him out properly now, which is the reason why he survived.
Can see me walking past you.
No, but they could hear you. Thanks, Mom.
Okay, sorry.
That's my mom.
So.
Okay.
Hi, Mom.
All right. So, okay. So you've managed to get this far. I will need a recon roll for whoever is keeping watch, which I believe would be Gorham because you're on the gun.
Yeah,
You'd be the one who can.
So, okay. So recon roll. Do I get any modifiers from anything? Anyone? Or any specialty like scout or anything like that? I don't have scout. I need to learn it, but
Yeah. You'll get a +1 because I'm assuming that Arthur is helping you, like also keeping out, trying to find the fucker who you took a pot shot at.
Yeah, and I know exactly what I'm looking for. Some guy.
all right, 3 successes.
Okay. So I'll move you up. So you get to this hex before, right here in the road, you spot a very, cleverly disguised,
Like an IED.
yeah, there's a IED in the road that
Okay.
has been hidden very, very well.
Apparently not well enough.
He got 3 successes. You met his successes. That's
Oh shit,
how
that
you
was
spotted it.
okay. Gorham calls that out to Ray, saying, "Switch lanes. There's an IED in the current lane." I mean, assuming it's on like one side of the road, she's just saying like go the other side. Like either way, the point is she points it out. So.
Yep.
Now the question is, do we see him on the road? Or
That's
any
a good
indication of
question.
where he went? Like if he was on his motorcycle and then he like went off road or something, shouldn't there be like track marks?
What you actually see is that in this hex, like 2 hexes ahead of you, you see they in there, and then the bike is actually here on the side of the road.
Oh.
Huh.
So, and are there footprints that are heading further into the woods?
I forgot how to do weather in this, but the weather has been pretty dry, so you don't really see footprints in the grass. There's not like any mud or anything.
I'm not talking about like mud. I'm talking about like even like, for example, if you're playing like Arma and you're like crawling through grass or whatever, and like the grass gets flattened, like shouldn't there be like patches where there were like even if it's not like big footprints in the mud, you know what I mean? Like just like areas
yeah,
where. Even if I have to
make
roll
me a
for it.
survival roll.
Okay.
Make me a survival roll, please. I'll give you a
Gosh.
+1 because you're kind of,
Okay.
you're looking after this dude.
I'm gonna push that. There we go.
Yep, and I will roll to see how well he hit himself. Like, hit his, like, tracks as he was going through. Yeah. Okay. So, you get off the road, you're searching, looking at, the grass flattened out. Like, the grass, like, you can only manage to track him to this hex. Because it looks like, you're not really sure. Because it looks like this area you're in has, like, a lot of, like game tracks. Like, like hunters go through here, and like a bunch of animals, so it's hard to tell.
Well, here's what you do, Ray. You drive through there and see if he panics and jumps the hell out of the way.
All right. Be mindful of the IED in the road.
Yeah, I already pointed that out, so.
Yep. Yeah, so make me a driving roll, please, to run through here and see what you scare up.
Any modifier?
-1 for the terrain.
Ooh, nice.
Nice. Cool. So I did say that this was hunting. Do you remember what section, like the hunting and like scavenging stuff is encoding?
It's in travel. So if you look under travel and then you look under like the travel handout in chapter 6, there's hunting, and then if you're trying to look at like the different game, there's a D6 table there for like what kind of animals there are.
Yep. Thank you. Because you do manage to like scare up something from the underbrush as you drive through there.
Hopefully that's something as a two-legged animal with a sniper rifle.
You scare up some grouse out of like the bushes.
Whatever.
So yeah, you managed to get.
So, but is there any indication of where the guy went? Like, can we try to search for him or spot him?
Make me a recon roll at a -3.
Okay.
It's very like heavy, like brush and like woods and stuff.
Do I still get a bonus from Arthur also looking?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Arthur, do you have Scout?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna push that D8.
Okay.
Well, just the one success.
Yep. Yeah, still. You managed to spot like a little bit of a blood trail going like into this like clump of like bushes.
Are there accompanying footsteps?
Yep. Like the grass is like put like like mushed down and stuff.
Ah, okay, we picked up the scent. Gorham says. She gives Ray the like clock direction, like you know, like pull us over 3 o'clock. There's a blood trail in the bushes, and she swivels the heavy machine gun in that direction.
So is this guy? Is he on foot now, or is he still on his?
He's on foot
his
because
gear-
the motorcycle is parked on the side of the road.
Okay. Okay.
I need another survival roll to hunt this guy. Essentially, you're hunting. I use air quotes in that. I'm
Right,
making
but
the.
I mean, don't. But when you're usually hunting, don't you just do the one roll?
Mhm.
So
Usually, but
There's nothing
this
more
guy
dangerous
is.
than a wounded mosquito.
okay. Are there any negative modifiers here, or do I get a boost from anybody? Or boost for, or like like +1 from the terrain or whatever? Because I mean, I am following a blood trail.
Yep. I'll give you the +1 from the blood trail.
Okay. Do I get a +1 from Arthur still assisting me?
Yep. If he's still assisting you, yep.
Okay, so that's +2. So up to 2d10, which I will push because that is bullshit. All right, I succeed again. There we go.
He'll make another. Do that to avoid you. Okay. You hear the baying of hunting dogs and totally not 5 and 10 pound lap dogs in the background.
Outside.
Even though they're easily just as vicious. But yeah, you managed to spot him. He's currently going through this like bushes and like shrubland and stuff.
Is he, like limping or crawling or just walking at a normal pace?
Yeah, he's limping and clutching his head.
Okay.
He took a freaking dome shot, man.
Well, I don't blame that
he's
for a second.
limping.
I'm surprised he could drive in a straight line, let alone set up an IED, let alone lead us this far. Gorham points
It
him
was
out
set
to.
previously. That's how it's.
Oh, it was set. He said it ahead of time. Okay.
Yep.
Well, even still, being able to drive after getting domed just kind of is impressive. So Gorham calls that out to Ray and to Arthur, and says to just like pull up on him because, yeah, I mean, if you want to try to run him over, I guess sure, but we could probably learn more information about his plans and him, and he might have some intel on him.
Do you want to vehicular homicide this guy, Ray?
Oh, I want to capture him. I don't want to run him over.
Okay. Pass the Gorham
Okay.
morality test. Well, I mean, she has run people over, but never out of satisfaction like fucking Tom does.
And he didn't even get a chance to do anything, so like we don't even know necessarily that what he's
Yeah.
up to. So
Right. So I guess pull over on him. Like, maybe over here, Gorham shouts out, "End of the line, bub."
he probably hears the Humvee coming because we're like
Right,
going
roaring
for-
after.
right.
Yeah. Well,
We're not
she.
sneaking up on him unless he's deaf. We're not sneaking up on him.
Well, I mean, I just meant like pulling up on him, Gorham shouting like "End of the line," just to make it clear, like, yeah, don't run. Assuming you can run, don't run. It wouldn't end well for you.
He might be deaf now.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, does he turn around?
Yeah, he'll turn around. He'll stop as he sees you approach.
So does he have a gun in hand?
Like he has a 50 cal like slung across his back.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, it's a good thing he didn't fucking fire that, right? So Gorham.
No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah. Gorham like swivels her automatic 50 cal on him and says, "I'd set the gun down if I were you, pal."
fine. He'll like take it off the back like very slow and like
So,
like set it down.
So Gorham is going to, I mean, well, for Arthur and Ray, are you guys getting out of the car? Because I'm going to get out and confront this guy face to face.
Yeah, I think I would get out and like sort of, be in cover behind the
The
engine
door?
block. And yeah, I would just like sort of cover you
Okay.
guys with my rifle.
All right. Yeah, Gorham marches up, shotgun in hand. I mean, not, and when I say shotgun in hand, I mean like a lower position, not pointing at the guy.
Yeah.
Like she's basically just making clear, like if you try anything, like I can draw faster than you, so don't. So she, sees like just for humor's sake, like there's a rock nearby. It's like, why don't you take a seat over there? I have some questions for you. Like going full on Chris Hansen.
My God.
God damn it.
And then just like Chris Hansen, they cannot resist. Like he cannot resist because it's like to catch a predator. Like all those guys are like, okay, and they just sit down.
I think he'll move to there's like a stump over here that he'll sit
Yeah,
on.
just it's like why not you have a seat over there?
Yep. Are you gonna? Yeah, you're just waiting with the Humvee is there. It's not gonna move anymore.
And I'll be like right about here comparatively.
Okay. Well, I see you found me. How can I help you, Sergeant?
And she says, well, yeah, I mean, my rank would be visible on my shoulder, right? Unless it isn't. And
Yeah.
Just,
I mean, do you like they're like like Velcro patches? Do you still wear the patch, or have you taken it off?
I would probably still be wearing it just to avoid. I mean, just because Gorham is a very straightforward person in general, like not like she wouldn't be, hiding the patch just so she can lie about her rank, that kind of thing. So she would just keep it on there anyway. Because I mean, the way she sees it, the army still like, despite being cut loose by the army, the whole good luck you're on your own, she still kind of acts as if it's still, a functional sort of unit. So that includes, for the most part, adhering to its procedures and its goals and stuff like that. She's not like necessarily like blindly loyal to it, but she does kind of pick and choose certain aspects of its protocol to follow.
Okay.
But in this case, this is one
Sure.
that she does follow, is that she does wear her rank at all times. So he
Cool.
said, what can we do for you, Sergeant, right?
Yeah. What can I do for you, Sergeant?
Well, she says, well, why don't you start by telling me what your plan was, that, you had this rifle, you were in the bushes, you took a shot from my friend here, she says, gesturing over to Arthur. I mean, a man doesn't just lie in the bushes with a sniper rifle during a public gathering if he isn't planning something, so why don't you tell me what you were planning? Because this could all be just a big misunderstanding, but I mean, I want to get your side of the story.
Yeah, of course. Well, yes, it was all a great big misunderstanding, I assure you. I had heard about the planned attack in Gliwice, and I was in the area, and I, thought I'd give a hand. I usually work alone, so I apologize for not announcing my presence. Miss Gorham.
Well, there is the red flag, the thread that Gorham spots, because her name would not be visible. Because, I mean, like on one hand, yes, it like names, like U.S. Army BDUs, they have like the name, and like sewn into the shirt.
Name like plate.
But here's the thing: she's wearing a fucking
tape.
flak vest.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, those
unless
have,
that was a
patches on them,
misspeak,
too,
then
unless it was not like issued.
well, I mean, I mean, well, let me ask you: was that just a misspeak, or did he just somehow know who I was, despite?
He seems to know like who you are. He says Miss Gorham.
And he just kind of so Gorham kind of raises an eyebrow, sort of like recoils, like, oh, I don't recall giving you my name. Have we met?
not formal, not formally, but I've heard of what happened at the prison break. I was there after your team broke out, investigating for my my own purposes, and well, I saw your name on some of the intake forms that they filled out, paperwork. Some things, ironically, one of the better things the Soviets are good at in this day and age. Must be all, they have to keep the paperwork in order for their POW camps.
Gorham says, yes. Well, I mean, depending on how much you know about me, then you would know that, my mission is to end that little practice the right way.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so glad that that's what you want. That's what you're working for. It's a noble purpose. Very noble purpose, is what he'll say.
So she just kind of shrugs, like, that's what I do. I mean,
Sorry for putting a hole in your head.
Oh, trust me, I've had worse injuries. But wait, that was
Them
that.
being shot in the head.
You'd be surprised. I mean, is that a comment you make in character, Blitz? I as I may have been out of. But yeah, then he'll say, I've been in worse scrapes than that. Don't you worry. What's a gunshot wound to the head among friends?
well,
You tell me.
yeah, well, when he says among friends, it's like, well, yeah, speaking of which, I mean, I've made a lot of friends, but I don't. What was your name again?
Where are my manners? I am Caleb Guru. It's very nice. Very, very lovely to meet you all. I'll put that name in the images and notes.
Yeah, Gorham. That was the name we learned before, right? Just to make sure I'm not being mixed up.
You've heard the name the Butcher of Gliwice.
Did we learn who it was associated with?
No.
Okay, so it's just like
Just the kind of person that you want to be on a first name basis with.
I mean, but we don't know. Would we have any reason to suspect that this is the butcher guy in character?
I'm starting to out of character. I'm starting to think so, and probably Gorham is as well. Because I mean, think about it. There was a Soviet officer here. We have an NPC officer who was here. Parston, the leader of the Minutemen, was here. This is, I mean, an officer. I mean, this is this guy's wet dream. If the two and the one are the same, I mean, that's probably why he was there. There were 3 officers, and it would be like, like a fucking shooting gallery for him. So, I mean, I don't. I mean, again,
you haven't done any kind of roll to tell if he's telling you the truth.
well, I mean, I mean, usually, how it's kind of gone with this is just kind of talk it out, and if there's a need to lie, then, well, so Gorham, but that does raise a good point. She was saying, so, tell me, if you said you were going to, assist with the defense of Gliwice, and you said you claimed that you weren't, you didn't make your presence known, like basically echoing back what he said about, how like, oh, I should have made myself known when I was going to help with the defense. Gorham spots the thread. Like, okay, why didn't you come out of cover with everybody else after hostilities had ceased? Trying to see how he responds to that. See if she blows his cover, or if he blows his cover, rather.
Yeah. I will actually need a persuasion roll, please, for you
God damn it.
like.
Well,
we will go through the social modifiers. Give you a little bit of a better chance.
okay, well, let's see what my modifiers are. Combat damage, social conflict. Okay, let's see. I have more people. he suffered damage. In a sense, he's kind of held captive, right? Because he was forced to surrender, and he's got several people with guns on him, right? Is that being held captive?
Yeah, I count that as
And-
held captive.
And then what about presenting your case very well? Because I mean, I kind of asked him a question that's definitely tough to dodge.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Okay, so it's +4, and then -1. The only thing I can think of is the thing he has nothing to gain by helping
Yep.
me. I
So
speak under correction from you if you feel there's more to it.
yeah, so nothing to gain. You're technically not in the same hex,
Well,
but yeah, you'd be in the same hex. You're just far enough away from them.
yeah, like I'm not standing right in. I mean, basically the idea is Gorm is just like she's being in speaking to. I mean, going with the whole like Chris Hansen parallel. Like she's definitely in the same quote unquote room as him in the same 10-meter hex. I just had her token there initially, but like if he's disarmed and he's sitting down and I'm standing up, then yeah, I'm going to be in the same hex with him. So,
Yep.
So I should have clarified that earlier, but thank you for pointing that
Nope.
out.
You're fine.
So I
just-
get a
just going through them.
+3.
Hold on a second. So nothing to gain. The information I will say is valuable and or dangerous. So another -1. Not having trouble understanding each other.
Well, actually,
And-
that does beg the question in terms of valuable or dangerous. Like depending on if he like depending on how he behaves and how he acts, the information might not be dangerous to him. Because here's the thing, is if he,
I mean, he thinks it's dangerous. Like it's like he thinks it's dangerous, right?
True.
Because
Yeah,
he
and he
doesn't
did get
want to be truthful,
yeah, and he
Uh-huh.
did get shot.
and he
so
doesn't know our intention.
that is true.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just trying to
So
figure out his
overall-
intentions.
I will give you a +2 to
Okay.
this roll.
So let's roll it and see what happens. I'm going to push that D10. Damn it. All right, well.
All right.
Actually, can the defender push in I mean, I know in Alien they can't, but is that a thing in Twilight 2000?
I don't think so, and the only reason why this NPC is pushing, because usually NPCs can't, is because he's kind of like a bigger NPC.
Well, I know he's
if
a
that
more
makes
major
sense.
character. I'm just saying that does that exempt him
Yeah.
from the same?
I don't believe that that's a thing. That the defender can't push, because I don't see anything in there about it.
Let me just double check. I'm not. I mean, I'm obviously not calling bullshit on you. I'm just trying to because this is the first time this has really come up that I like because usually NPCs don't push, so it's not really like NPCs are the aggressors, yada yada yada. So I'm just trying to
Yeah.
figure out where the hell is it? Rolling the dice,
Excuse me.
pushing.
I know passive rolls can't be pushed. I know for Twilight, but
Okay, hold on. Opposed rolls. Yes, only you, the active party, can push a roll. So he.
oh, interesting.
Yeah, so he can't. So whatever his initial roll was, he's stuck with it.
Well, even if he could push, it didn't help him.
Oh, so
'cause
he
got no
failed.
successes.
All right.
Yeah. I'll show you his impressive dice pool. But, okay. So let me explain this before I say what he says. So this character has the liar specialty. He was attempting to lie to you to make you believe something. So just to preface, how he got that. So what he will say to you, which he is lying to you when he says it about why didn't you come out when everyone else came out? He says, well, partly truth, partly a lie. The truth is, you guys had it. You didn't really need my help. The lie he tells you is, if I'd come out, I'm sure I would have caused. Well, you can never trust this. You can never trust the Soviet, and I'm sure they would have opened fire on me had I come out in the open.
And why would they have opened fire on you specifically instead of all the other dozen plus people coming out of cover?
I am. How do you say? Well, I've done some work as an intelligence agent, and that's what I've been doing during this conflict. I'm a sniper, and I do have some intelligence training work. Not exactly not CIA, and not really NSA. Kind of little in between for the two of those organizations. I am what is the word? Persona non grata. Person not welcome anywhere. And I was fearful of my life. I promise you. I had nothing bad planned. In fact, I would say that if anything, you were the aggressor, or your friend was the aggressor shooting at me.
So, which then begs the question of, you were hiding in the bushes with a sniper rifle, overseeing a meeting, and instead of trying to, correct the situation, you opted to flee, which doesn't help your case. If you had stayed and explained it, then you might have been able to smooth this things over. But do you understand, Caleb, how things are looking right now?
Yeah. And he left us an IED, which
Yeah, that
I guess
too.
we probably would have a hard time telling if he, put that there ahead of time or whatever.
Well, the fact that he drove down that road and he didn't run over it kind of supports the case that, and especially where it was like parallel to the bike, he probably just got off the bike, set it up in the road, and then ran.
Mm-hmm. Well, as I told you before, I do dangerous work and need to make sure I can get away if needed. I thought I was afraid for my life. I thought you were going to come down here and mow me down in a hail of fucking gunfire. I mean, I'm sure you can understand being fearful of death.
Not really, but that's besides the point. My point is that, I mean, while I can sort of sympathize with that reason, the problem is that the way things are looking from our perspective, is such that I've explained. What you're saying doesn't really, the information you've given doesn't really add up. What is it that you're not telling me?
Well, like as I said before, I am an intelligence officer, and I have very important intelligence that I must bring to Allied forces.
Oh, God. So then why didn't you tell us?
Well, I wouldn't be a very good agent if I just spilled the beans, right out the gate, would I?
Well, I mean, consider that you just said you need to get into Allied forces and you had an entire group of Allied forces. Not to mention, you've got 3 Allied forces right here. Why didn't you tell me?
It is, not to pull rank or anything, but is far above your pay grade, Niscorum.
So then who's, because
That sounds like some bullshit to me.
Yeah, yeah, she does like the finger wagging, like pointing. I was like, yeah, exactly. You seem to have an intention of changing the story, moving the goalpost with each little fact that you give. Because first you said, oh, well, I was there to help. Then you said you had to ran. Then you said you had intelligence to give and to Allied forces, and then now you're refusing to give it to us.
Let's just handcuff him and take him back to the group. I'm tired of listening to this.
So, well, Gorm, I mean, before that, well, she'll still stand there, not necessarily menacingly, but, gun in hand, just staring this guy down, kind of raises her eyebrows, and it's like, well, to kind of give him the implication, based on Ray's threat, which she is content to go with, she is implicitly giving this guy, like, you've got one chance, unless you want to be, like, interrogated or worse, time to come clean. Like, that kind of vibe. And also, she the whole time she's watching him, she's kind of eyeing him up and down to see if there's anything of interest on his person, like if he has like a satchel with any like documents in it or like a notebook or something like that.
Yep. Like he is decked out, kind of like special forces operator, so he looks like a soldier.
Well, no
And
shit.
Yeah, no shit. I just wanted to clarify that.
Right. Well, thank you.
So he'll he'll raise his hand slowly. He'll say, "I have information. I have documents and devices in my backpack. Can I reach around and take it off and to show you?"
She says, "Why don't you stay perfectly still where you are, and one of my friends can come get it, and I'll keep my eye on you just to make sure we're all fine and dandy." So she,
Of course.
like she sort of, I guess, with her, like holding the front of her shotgun with her left hand, kind of gestures with her right hand for Arthur to, come on up, to search this guy, while she and Ray keep eyes on him.
All right.
And I
And
mean, it
is that
just
something I would have to roll for, or?
No, this will just be something you find in this stuff. So I'll send the item to chat. About what you find, sleeping bag, blankets, like pain relievers, like food and water in his backpack. However, the thing that really sticks out to you is you find like a very it's a walkie-talkie, but it's a much more like a advanced version. Looks like
like a spec ops like military radio.
Yes, and as part of the walkie-talkie he has is there is an encryption, there's a cryptographic device with the walkie-talkie.
Also, I can't just my blanking out if it was fully revealed, but yeah, that the name of the NPC that the item rolled to chat kind of gave it away.
Shit. Not to do that. Damn it. Forget you've please don't metagame. But
Well,
it'll be a
even if
revelation
it isn't
learned.
explicitly made clear, I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like that's kind of the assumption that everybody's going with anyway, even if it hasn't been outright confirmed. So don't
It
feel
would
too bad.
probably be, like we would know that it's at least like American, most likely.
I'm not even talking about the
imagine it
radio. I'm
has
talking about the
some-
connection between the Butcher of Khalees and this guy. Like, the Butcher of Khalees, as we've heard, is a like a rogue spec ops guy who goes around hunting, American and Soviet officers. Like, this guy was overseeing a meeting with a bunch of officers with a sniper rifle and is a fucking special forces guy. Like anyone with a second grade education could fucking figure that out. Where did he go?
I'm just updating the
Where'd
token.
he go?
Sorry, making sure stuff is updated properly.
The idea of
well.
him just going missing right now somehow is fucking hilarious.
Well, it's like it's like this one parody of To Catch a Predator where it's like an actual Predator from the Predator movies where the Predator walks out the front lawn and cloaks and the cops are like, "Where'd he go?"
Yeah, but yeah. So you find that on him, and the players are smart, the characters are smart. They can put 2 and 2 together, and congratulations, you found the person you were warned about.
So
I will pretend that you all aren't intelligent, because the characters are very intelligent, and so are the players.
So Gorham, after piecing this together, she says, "So tell me, Butcher, or should I say Caleb, is that all you've been up to?"
Well, well, by now I'm sure you've heard about my less than savory exploits. So
Out of character question, so has this guy done anything that is we would consider morally wrong? Or is he just killing Soviet officers? Because if he's just doing that, I don't
Well, from
know
what we heard, he was also killing Allied officers. Like, he's basically playing for his own
He's-
side now.
he's going after all officers.
Like, he's hunting
basically.
officers like fucking game.
Now, is that
Okay,
is that like officers that have gone broader? Because I imagine
No,
that's probably the majority, or it's just
He's
all
just
of them.
shooting anybody with bars or stars.
pretty much. I mean, and like I said, Gorham, the reason she figured it out is because there were 3 officers from 3 different factions at the meeting where this guy was going to presumably take a shot. So that's how she came to that conclusion. It's like there were 3. There was a Soviet, there was an American, and there was like a Polish militia guy, like a militia leader. 3 officers right there. He was conveniently there. So yeah, I mean, and especially where she sort of prodded him and he just confirmed it. So
Okay, I didn't realize he had been killing people of all sides. I thought he was just targeting the Soviets.
Yeah,
no,
sorry, that's the GM not explaining well enough.
All is well.
Apologies for the confusion.
so
Yes, please continue.
also I mean, Gorham's saying like, well, why did you why did you start doing this? Like, is there a purpose to? I mean, because on one hand I can understand the
I'm
assassinating
like
enemy
looking
officers.
around while Cody's character, sorry, forgot her.
Gorham.
While Gorham is just like, it's like, yo, can we get back to down? We're kind of out here on our own.
So, well, I just I mean,
Why don't
yeah.
we just put another hole in this guy's head and be done with it?
Well, because I mean that hole might be going through his brain, and that brain might have things he's withholding. So I'm just mainly trying to like. There's something that I was talking to Emily about that I'm just trying to see if he'll admit to if he actually did or not.
For the time being, like when character
Like-
names, when Bray suggests like calls over like, oh hey, can we get out of here? Caleb will say like, oh, that's a lovely idea.
So
Why don't we take this someplace more more comfortable? And I'll answer what I can, and
So.
you'll see. I'll see how you treat me afterwards.
Well, hold on. Why are you saying it like that? Gorham says.
Yeah. What's up with giggle shits here?
That is partly the GM giggling, because
Okay.
Yeah, we need to know if it's any character or.
It sounded official. Like it sounded like this guy's a fucking.
It was partly official, partly the GM just laughing at how, just cartoonishly, well, slightly cartoonishly evil I've made this NPC now.
Well,
So, yeah.
I mean,
I love it. Yeah.
what's
But-
his response to that?
What's the joke? Well, let's just say I have, like I said, I'll be honest with you now. I wasn't being honest before, but now I am. I do have information. I am being honest about being an intelligence agent. I've worked, both sides, the CIA and the NSA. I don't really, I answer to both, but, none of them are my official handler. However, some of my actions will, let's just say they'll have you questioning whether you want to hand me over as a bargaining chip or not. Because the information I have can do wonders for helping you. Because I imagine you don't want to stay here in this, no offense, Arthur, you're, this lovely country. But I'm sure everyone wants to go home, don't you? The Americans and the, NATO people.
Well, and the Soviets. I mean, basically everybody. But
Mm-hmm.
It would seem this guy's job is stopping people from getting home.
yeah, right. Like Gorham points that out. She's saying like, you're not helping people go home in any other way but a body bag, and that's just wrong.
Oh, I assure you, in my early years, everyone I killed, there was a reason they had to die. Or I'm sure you don't want to hear the whole, morality, black and white, like, that whole, like, philosophy. Shit. But
Who
No.
in chat said the tragic school bus? Was that Ray or?
That was Travis, because it's just like you're dealing with a guy that just went fucking crazy and native.
Well, here's the thing: is that if we shoot him in the head, we're not going to learn all the stuff he knows, other than like whatever he might have written
Yeah,
down.
Yeah,
and
we'll learn what
doesn't
color
matter.
he bleeds.
He's
Well, we
acting
already
like a
know
wild
that.
animal. Just put him down.
So, well, might as
But-
well bring him with us. But is there? Well, Arthur. I mean, when Arthur was searching him, he just found like the camping supplies and like ammo and stuff. Did he find like a journal or any personal souvenirs or anything like that?
I was gonna make the joke. Oh yeah, you find a journal full of
Pictures of corpses.
sketches of dead bodies. Yeah,
Like, that's a
we'll call
Simmons
back to
trademark.
Simmons. But no, you don't find anything like no calling cards or like souvenirs from his victims. No.
Okay, well, I mean, does he have like a journal with any like orders or like diary logs of the things he's done, that kind of thing? Like, is there anything written down that contains evidence of his mission, his crimes, his actions in general?
No, nothing you can find in the backpack.
Okay. Well, nothing that can find. Does he have anything else on his person, like in his like flak vests or anything? Because that is a good point. We just searched the backpack. We didn't see what he had in like his
Yeah.
vest or his pockets or whatever.
This is a weird question, but how thoroughly are you searching him? Like,
I'm not searching his junk. I'm searching basically anywhere that would have
I
like
mean,
pockets
I
or
didn't
pants.
mean it like that, but yeah, like you're going through like every pocket and like
Everything
Stuff.
short of like tickling his nuts.
Everything short of his nuts or his ass. That's where I'm searching.
That's when you're gonna find out he had explosives in the junk.
Yeah. His
um,
10 pounds of C4 shoved up his ass, ready to go whenever.
Just like Christopher Walken in Pulp Fiction, except it's not a watch.
Can someone put Blitz's
are my
quote out of
plastic gloves.
context?
There are my latex gloves.
I don't remember what exactly he said, so I can't. But
Anything short of tickling his nuts.
Oh, I'm lightheaded from laughing. Oh, my head
so,
hurts.
but anyway, so yeah, Gorham searches his like, his pants pockets, his, the vests, like the pockets of his vest, etc. Like anywhere like that, soldiers would realistically carry stuff, even special forces.
Yeah.
I mean, again, aside from within his body, but
Yeah, I apologize for. I realized the moment I said it that question was phrased very badly. But yeah, just Okay, so
You'll-
what you find, I'll type up a document in between sessions and share it with you guys. You find like in his like flak vest, you see that there's been like a slit made and like resewn. So when you like pull that open, you do find like his orders like for like in-country operations.
okay, just gonna go ahead and pocket that.
Yep.
I'm also gonna run his name by that one guy, Gary, to see if he knows. The one agent that we rescued, to see if he recognizes this guy and the orders. But so I'm gonna pocket his orders. Does he have anything else?
Nothing else. Nothing else of interest. Like he has
Oh.
a lighter and like half a pack of Lucky Strikes, but beyond that, no.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, bring him and all items of worth, including his sniper rifle and all. I'm just gonna take all of. And does he have a pistol or anything?
No.
Okay.
He does have a couple claymore mines though.
All right. We're just gonna go ahead and loot this guy. And in this case, yeah, I mean, I'm just mainly just doing this so he doesn't have any weapons and can't pull any shenanigans.
He has 2 claymores.
All right. Can you add that to one of our vehicles, please? Probably the tragic school bus.
Sure.
Okay. So, and then the sniper rifle and however much ammo he has too.
He has
Well,
2 magazines.
okay. So I guess is that counting the one that's loaded?
Yep, he has one and then 2 extras.
Okay, so 3 total
Yep.
magazines. All right. Well, Gorham says, I guess, I mean, just tells Arthur, it's like, cuff him, let's get him in the back, and let's get back to the others.
All right.
Struts on over to the Humvee.
Yep, and that's where we're going to end today's session. Because we were just hitting 4 o'clock, and
Yep.
Yep. But yeah, that was to all the new guys. I hope you enjoyed. As you can tell,
I understand you did enjoy it.
oh, I love running games for this group. Like, if you guys can crack me up at least once a session, it's a good session in my book.
Well, you know what it is. The currency is snorts.
Exactly. But
Mission accomplished.
yeah, like I said, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I'm glad to have everyone new at the table. And the session definitely didn't go how I planned it to go, but it
Still
was
fun.
nonetheless. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I love like weird out there plans. It's kind of how the Gliwice got the javelins, because we were having a discussion of like, oh, any weapons and stuff you can bring us, and look through the rules. You can technically make it if you have like a weapons like workshop, and the party does. So
Right.
mhm.
Are we going to do XP?
Yes, let me bring that up. So you'll all get the base 5.
Okay.
Then we'll run through the list. Did you participate in the game session? Yes, you all did. Did you follow your moral code did you follow your moral code?
Yeah, Gorham's, be a paragon of positivity and kill him with kindness, but if that's not an option, buckshot, bumper, and/or missiles will do just fine, so.
Well,
I feel like I met that.
I didn't waste any bullets.
My team is all still alive.
Yeah, for me, I mean, we captured this guy, so I'm trying to see the best in him, I guess.
Yeah.
And we also
Yeah.
didn't kill all the Soviets, trying to see the best in
That
them.
is, yeah. Do you have a buddy yet, Sparks?
No.
Oh.
I don't have any friends.
Well, I mean,
Damn.
you could have a friend in Gorham, so. I mean, your mindset kind of matches mine, so.
Okay, I will be friends with Gorham.
Nice. All right. Did you risk or sacrifice something? Did you work toward realizing your big dream?
Yep.
Did you work toward it?
Make the world great again.
I mean, my dream is to kind of get home, I guess. Like, our new group got with this other group, which helps us get there quicker, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's our big dream, is just to get home.
Cool. Did you make a significant discovery or revelation?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Capture this dude.
Mm-hmm. So everyone gets that one. To perform an extraordinary action of some kind.
I got a whole division of Russians to stand down.
Yeah, that's pretty extraordinary. Your plan,
Yep.
I would vouch
Yeah,
for that.
definitely.
By serving them vodka. I mean, Actually, even that is just a joke, just to see if everybody would go like, "No, you're right," or not. Like, "Oh, come
I
on."
mean, but stereotypes are bad, but sometimes they're true, unfortunately, and
There's a little bit of truth in some of them, at least.
That's
yeah.
why they're there.
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay.
Did
Did you
I
perform?
do anything?
Oh.
Do you think?
I mean, yeah, I'll
Tracking
give
the
it
guy
to
to the
you.
extent that I did.
Yeah, I'll give you that one, and I'll also give it to Blitz because you assisted.
Oh boy.
Well, he also got the guy to fuck off. Like he spotted him, domed him, didn't kill him,
Put a
but
hole in Chucklefuck's noggin.
I'm still
Captain Chucklefuck,
flabbergasted
sir.
that I'm still flabbergasted that he fumbled his fucking roll to hide himself so goddamn bad. That's
He's just wearing like a trash bag.
I think Simmons did that once as well. I
well,
say
yeah.
that.
No, he at one point he made a joke about having a ghillie suit made out of garbage, and I have that as my lock screen on my computer.
Mm-hmm. I remember that now. But
I saw someone do
cool.
that for airsoft once, and it worked.
Extraordinary action.
What was the character name that I played in that Alien campaign?
Sweetwater.
That's what Sweetwater did, basically.
Except of burger wrappers. I've heard of the exploits of Sweetwater.
Dude,
Yeah,
stealing
you're
my
famous.
style. What the hell?
Yeah. You got to trademark that shit.
Chambers
out all
Burgers
snipers-
sponsored the new USCM issue ghillie suit. Anyway,
It turns out all
Yeah.
snipers are part of a hive mind that think alike. Who'd have thunk?
Chambers Burgers has diversified into military equipment manufacturing in light of the global apocalypse.
I love it.
It's a mega corp. They make everything.
oh my lord. So that's
Yep.
extraordinary action.
Did you perform a successful action with one or more roles related to your area of expertise, such as successfully treating a wound as a medic or repairing something as a mechanic?
I didn't blow anything up or drive anything or. Well, I mean, technically, as the sort of pseudo face, I mean, I actually did a persuasion roll for once in a blue moon. Does that count?
Yeah, I'll give it to you, Cody.
All right, thanks.
I was driving and we didn't crash.
Oh.
You didn't crash and cause all the fuel to
Or
leak
run into
out.
the mine. Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
passed a roll. There was a roll for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I caught that reference to Tom, by the way.
Of course. Did you travel through at least one hex? No, because it's technically within the same big 10-kilometer hex. Did you overcome one or more dangerous events using violent or non-violent means? Yep, you all get that one. Did
I
you
love
risk your
violence.
life? You risk your life with the PC who's your buddy? I would say that didn't really come up in this session because it was more of a peaceful resolution, and the
What
one
about
guy that
Gorham
shot
marching
at you.
out into a field with several tanks, a division of Soviets, all by herself? I mean, I know they were peaceful. They had peaceful intentions. It's still like, if it had gone any other way, like if they weren't drunk, that I would have been game over for Gorham.
Well, they weren't. They didn't
they were
initially have
drunk.
peaceful intentions, right?
Yeah, they could have been doing, what was it, perfidy?
Yeah. Maybe
So-
they just after a night of drinking, they kind of reassess things and they're like, huh, you know what? Let's switch up the strategy here.
So
I mean, the alternative was we were just gonna fight them. So I mean,
Yeah,
it was.
and utterly
I don't think it was
obliterate
more
them.
dangerous than the situation we were already in, right?
okay, fair enough.
That's true. Yeah. I'll give it to you.
All right.
Did you make significant progress towards or complete your group's current
Yeah, we
objective?
defended Gliwice.
You defended Gliwice using Well, stereotyping saved the day.
Oh man, that'd
Not
be a
a
good
sentence
quote.
I ever thought I'd say. 'Cause it
Checkmate
sounds
abolitionist.
horrible.
Vodka saved the day.
I love it. So yeah, you all get that point. Did you take a life-threatening critical injury? Nope, none of you got shot, which, you know, some GMs would be like, well, I better shoot you more, but
Glad you're not one of
I'm
said
not an
GMs.
asshole.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's no fun for anyone if I'm just gonna, you know, send hordes of enemies after you and
Or
eventually
fire an
kill you.
ATGM at a helicopter, but
Mm-hmm. Then shoot us down and then basically put us back in the same situation where we get dragged. Basically, we went back to the bunker after like the aftermath of the chopper crash, and oh yeah, the guy you left back at the site, he got captured. Now he's gonna be tortured, and
Oh boy.
I'm gonna have to
Jesus.
be like, yeah, I'm not. If we're gonna describe the torture, I'm gonna step away for like 15 minutes, and you can fuck off if you're gonna describe torture, Omega. Because no, I don't like that. I don't like.
So,
But sorry.
can I increase my
Why don't you
survival?
tell us all how you feel about it?
Ranting, man.
I'm gonna increase my
Like, go ahead.
Actually, no, never mind. I'm trying to debate: should I bring survival from D to C or persuasion from C to B?
I mean, if you're gonna be the leader, you're gonna be using persuasion.
Probably, yeah. So I'll just bring it up to B for 15, and then because I believe we have. Well, yeah. I mean, if I use it on my own, I can increase it. But and then
Well-
so the XP goes from 23 to 8 in terms of current, and I'll write up a recap later so I can get 10 because then I plan to get killer.
Nice.
What's
Because,
the,
I mean-
the XP rules?
So basically, yeah, with XP, in terms of like if you're leveling up like a skill, like so, unlike with Alien where everything is 5, like whether it's skills or talents or different skill ranks. So a specialty in this, basically a talent by another name, a specialty is always 10. And the way it's been handled, at least with this group, is like either if you learn it from somebody, like if there's somebody in the group who has the specialty, or if you do something related to the specialty, like like blowing up a tank with a rocket launcher, you could get launcher crew, that kind of thing. That's with specialties, and then with skills. So to go from a skill rank of nothing to D is 5, D to C is 10, and basically yeah, it increases by 5, so like 15, 20, and then to increase the skill, you either have to have used it during the session and succeeded, or have somebody with a higher skill level teach you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if you want to like learn something or bump something up, the party has a lot of different like talent pools that they do have someone who can train you if needed in something, if you really want something.
I would like to train in mobility. So is there so don't we start at D or do we start at F?
Well,
it starts at nothing, then goes to D. Well, technically it's F, but that just means you don't have any rank in it.
Well, the caveat. So the thing is, Magus, if you want, I can teach you mobility because I have mobility B. So
Sure.
if you're
what's the benefit of that?
well, the benefit. So the thing is, like I said before, if you wanted to learn, like improve your rank in a skill, you have to either A, use the skill in a session and succeed, which as far as I
Okay.
know you didn't. But if somebody teaches you, then that circumvents that. But the caveat is that you can't teach somebody higher than your own level. So like if I could only teach you mobility up to B, so but you would still have to spend the 5 XP to go from nothing to D.
Okay, so I will go to D. I'm saying is there a benefit from having D versus nothing?
Yes, that's a second dice to roll, because if you have
okay.
if you only have you're rolling an attribute and a skill. If you don't have a skill, you're just rolling 1 dice.